You're listening to the best Phillies sports show in the Northeast on Northeast Streaming Sports.
What's up, everybody? This is a whole new segment. We were gonna stick with the Flyers checking in, but we decided to change some content because everybody wants to talk about everything in Philly sports. So we switched it up today, and this is episode 1 of the Philly Sports Show with El Parcero Philly and the Philly Sports Guy.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Exactly. And we have a lot to talk about. I mean, there was a lot of stuff that's happened over the last week. I mean, we got, let's see, the Eagles had something major happen to them. The Flyers played outdoors last night. The Sixers have been playing, a little bit. They actually had a good run, a bad run, a good run. And the Phillies, our pitchers and catchers, have all reported. Now, so does everybody else report. And it looks like the Union are going to play. So we got lots and lots to talk about. El Parcero Philly, how are you doing, my man?
Oh man, I'm blessed as always. I'm happy we're moving on to this new phase of our I guess our YouTube-ness, our YouTube shows and podcasts and whatnot there. But this is gonna be a lot of fun. We're talking about everything Philly sports. You and I, we do a diligent job of trying to cover all the Philly sports, everything that's going on with the Philly sports fans. So this is gonna be a lot of fun, a lot to get to, a lot of heartbreak. It's a confusing time right now for Philly sports fans. I think they need us now more than ever, the Philly sports guy.
I agree. I mean, because I thought so, and we might as well start off with the biggest news.
Right, let's get to it.
News that got broke on Thursday last week that Carson Wentz is no longer going to be a Philadelphia Eagle come March 17th. Come St. Patrick's Day, he's going to Wentz out of here, and Wentz is gone, and he is going to Indianapolis, where Indianapolis traded a third-round pick for this year, a first-round pick, although everybody's saying, hey, it's a conditional second round. It's really a conditional first-round pick that could drop to a second round because he's supposed to be the starter. He's going to be playing 75%. If by chance he's not playing 75% of the snaps, that becomes a really bad trade for Indianapolis.
Right.
And we get rid of all of that extra stuff. You know what I mean? Like that baggage is now gone. Hit the road. See ya. And that's so. And I tell you, I for one am very happy about it. It was time for him to go, and it was. I can't stand crybabies. Can't stand when they are. So he didn't want to talk. He's getting paid all this money, and he couldn't say nothing to nobody. Couldn't come on the air and just say, hey, listen, I don't like how things ended last year. I don't like how things were handled. I don't like what's going on with this organization right now. That's all he would have had to say. No more questions. I ain't saying nothing else. But I came out and said that because I wanted to let everybody know exactly where I stood with things. Instead, he held everybody for ransom. It says, this is a town that invested a lot of money in his AOH, or AO1 foundation and stuff like that. And he couldn't figure out a way to just come say hello and say, hey, this is what's going on. And then that letter he's saying, all right, thanking everybody. I felt like somebody wrote that for him, and he's like, go ahead, print it. I'll sign my name to it. You know what I mean? Because that was such a crock of crap. Happy it's gone. Happy it's done.
I'm with you. I'm happy this is done. This has been such a messy situation, messy situation. Look, I think that me personally, I think everyone in charge of the Philadelphia Eagles has something to do with this. I think Carson Wentz is at fault here. I think Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie are at fault here as well. For Carson Wentz, I mean, look, last year in the draft, the Eagles decided to select Jalen Hurts, 53 overall. After the fact, they made him the franchise quarterback. When you pay a quarterback the way they did, that's telling them that he's the franchise quarterback. And then the next year, when the Eagles had all the needs, right? The wide receiving core has been an absolute joke for a long time, right? They went with Jalen Rager in the first round, whatever. So many other needs all throughout the roster. Offensive line depth could have been secured there. A running back to complement Miles Sanders, right? Instead of giving us these short little backs. Defense, you could have used a defensive line depth. You could have used an actual linebacker, not a project in Davion Taylor, a secondary, anything besides drafting a quarterback second round. When you draft someone in the second round, you're expecting that guy to help you day one. And yet you had your franchise quarterback and you selected Jalen Hurts. So when it comes to that, Carson Wentz has every right to feel offended. However, we have seen this instance happen all throughout NFL history, even recently with Aaron Rodgers and when the drafting of Jordan Love, when the Patriots drafted Jimmy Garoppolo, when they had Tom Brady there, right? Yet those guys said, word, you don't believe in me? Cool. What did they do? They showed what they had on the field. Carson Wentz, the fact that we're hearing him and Doug Peterson weren't talking for 8 to 10 weeks, like, look, they definitely did talk. You're not going to not work with someone and not talk to them. But the fact that there was something wrong in their relationship is an issue there as well. It's just too many red flags. I'm not saying like Carson Wentz was the entire issue with the Philadelphia Eagles, but there was a lot of blame here. We got rid of the problem essentially. We can move forward with this new generation of Eagles football here, but the problem is that Howie Roseman is still here. And just to talk about this deal, like the fact that he all told us he was going to get a Matt Stafford-like return. We did not get that, flat out. We did not get that at all, right? And we have in NFL history.
Did he say that, though? He said that specifically?
He wanted a Matt Stafford-like return because he saw what the market was at quarterback this offseason. You have so many quarterbacks who are like Deshaun Watson's still out there. There's the Sam Darnold situation up in New York. The New York Jets don't know what to do right now at quarterback as well. So there's a big carousel going on with quarterback. Jimmy G as well, right? And the fact of the matter is the Eagles now in NFL history, no one's going to ever have the dead cap hit that the Eagles have had. And that's just on Carson Wentz alone. Let's remember, Zach Ertz is still around the corner here. We don't know what the heck's going to happen with him either. So this situation, these last 2 years have been one of the biggest black eyes for an NFL franchise that I have, maybe since the Jacksonville Jaguars as of late. But the Eagles look so bad right now. The way they allowed the Carson Wentz situation to detangle the way it did, this could have been nipped in the bud with some simple communication between your franchise quarterback and the organization. But I'm with you. I'm happy this situation's over. Carson seems to be happy, and that's fine. We're moving on. And we have an even bigger situation because Philly sports guy, we don't even know who's going to be the quarterback now. So,
well, I mean, I got to imagine that Howie did take some steps. He did bring back somebody. He did bring somebody in who knows Hurts really well, and they were friends, and they've coached him before and such. So I have to imagine that was done purposely. I agree about all the things that you're saying. You know, I needed this to end. I feel that the Eagles are hitting the reset button completely. You know, that this is now, okay, this is how it's happening. This is what we're doing, and we have to, move forward here. I believe that the Eagles are going to suck this year.
Oh, yeah.
Coming up. They're going to suck. And if they don't suck, that's going to be great for us. You think about it. In 2017, we didn't have any expectations.
Right.
And next thing you know, I think they expected us to go like 8-8 and 9-7. And then the next thing you know, we go 13-3 and win the Super Bowl.
Right.
So there's always something that could change with how things happen. But realistically, in a very realistic sense, it's, I expect this team to not, to bring up the rear in the NFC East.
You know what the problem is, though? This division's bad as well.
No, I don't think so I think everything happens in ebbs and flows. You know what I mean? So this division's not going to be as bad as it was last year. I know that, yes, every team stunk last year. We didn't match up well with the two divisions that we matched up against with. You know what I mean? We just didn't. Next year, we ain't going to have that problem anymore. You know what I mean? Because we're playing, so we're playing the West. So, I mean, obviously, Kansas City is tough. You know, we're going to have them at home. And Andy Reid comes home for the first time. Think about that. How long he's been gone. And it's the first time he's coming home. First time he's going to be back at the link. Got to imagine like that. Think of the storyline for that. That alone. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised if that isn't Sunday Night Football week 1. Just because of the storyline. You know what I mean? That's a good storyline. And like all the things that happened in Kansas City, I mean, they leading up to the Super Bowl and then losing the Super Bowl. First time that Philadelphia is going to see Patrick Mahomes up close and personal in Philly. So there's a lot that's going to be happening with that alone. And then like I said, we're going to be playing a 4th place schedule. You know what I mean? So that's it is what it is. I mean, we got Atlanta and Carolina. Everybody else is playing those teams too. So I expect us not to have, or the NFC East not to have as bad a season as we're expecting. Just because I don't trust Atlanta. I think Atlanta stinks out loud. I think Carolina. I mean, I love Matt Rule, but I think that he's still got another year or two to get his stuff together before things really start to take hold for him. And then and what do you got?
Jalen's got the Saints number too.
The Saints came with but I mean they got a whole new thing to happen now too because
it's a quarterback.
New quarterback time. So it's like there's a lot of stuff that's going to be in transition there. And then of course we're going to have Tampa Bay.
Right.
And I got to imagine now that he is he's going to try to win his 8th, but they're not going to even come close. Right. They're not even going to come close.
Philly sports guy, I think what fans want to know, what are we going to do at the quarterback position? Because it seems as if Jalen's job is not guaranteed here, which I agree. You do want a competition here, but you got to think, obviously Sudfeld is not going to compete with Jalen Hurts. So does this team
won't be on the roster?
I hope he's not on the roster. But do you I would prefer them to go the veteran route, but obviously you know how we are with money right now. So obviously the word is at 6, the Eagles could consider a quarterback. How would you feel personally? Draft day, number 6 overall, Philadelphia Eagles select Justin Fields, quarterback at Ohio State. How would you feel?
Conflicted. I think that before we start to figure out what we need at quarterback, I think we need to figure out the rest of the team.
Exactly.
And that's where I feel. I feel like that if you're going to hit the reset button, I mean, I don't know. I don't trust any one of these quarterbacks to be the end all be all right now.
Right.
And because of that, I would much rather just go into this season with Hurts.
I agree.
And then like there's going to be enough quarterbacks out there trying to find a job. Actually, you know who I think would be a great backup quarterback who's probably going to be looking for a job?
Let's hear it.
Cam Newton.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, did you hear about the kid?
No.
Oh my God! You need to look up that video. Apparently, he was at some football camp, and some kid was calling him out, pretty much saying that he sucks, pretty much. And he was going back and forth with the kid. The video went viral. The kid got attacked, he was picked on a lot, and so he issued a public apology. But that was the talk of today. Like this kid, Cam going out with this kid. A bunch of NFL players came in defense of Cam Newton. It was definitely pretty wild there, but.
So I mean, listen. I think Cam is past his prime.
Okay. Yes.
His career ended. When he didn't go after the football in the Super Bowl. That fumble that he didn't go after. That's when his career ended. You know what I mean? He still has some tools and stuff like that. But I feel that he would be a great mentor for Hurts. If you want to try to do something this season. He's going to be available, and he'd be great as a backup. Now, he may not want to be a backup, but sometimes you got to read the writing on the wall.
Right.
Right. And I think it would be a really good fit for him here.
Okay.
Just my opinion. My opinion.
I personally, I'm right with you. Like this talk of, I'm glad that this talk is happening. Though I will say the problem is that I don't trust Howie Roseman to do the right thing. But if I'm Howie Roseman, I would sell this whole narrative that I'm going to draft a quarterback at 6. Guys, got to remember this Eagles team has a lot of needs. We need draft picks. These draft picks are a premium for us. So if I were Howie, I would keep selling this quarterback thing, and then come draft day, one of these teams would need a quarterback. Justin Field, maybe even Zach Wilson's still there, or Trey Lance. Some people are loving Trey Lance. You select a trade, you trade back into the top 20, you get some draft picks, and then in that round, in that area, you can get a guy like Jalen Waddle, who's still a really good wide receiver, a Kyle Pitts, who already been rumored to, and Micah Parsons, which I think the Eagles should really thoroughly consider. We're talking about reshaping this defense. What better than having a stud linebacker in there, just the face of your defense? We talk about getting the face of the franchise. Well, why not get the face of your defense for the next decade and get yourself some Micah Parsons? So I think that's what the Eagles need to do. As far as the backup, go get yourself a veteran guy. I wouldn't be mad at a Mitch Trubisky or even a Gardner Minshew. I know these guys are not the best, but these guys, listen, in the NFL, if you're down to your backup quarterback, your season more than likely is screwed. Nick Foles situations don't usually happen, okay? That was something, and, thank God that actually did happen, but that usually does not happen. So I'm okay with getting one of those veteran guys I mentioned. Cam Newton is solid, but for something tells me he wants to go to DC, but we'll see. We'll definitely see. But that's definitely where I'm at with that situation. But it's what Eagles fans want to know.
And the other thing that I think of is so when you're talking about possibly trading down out of the 6th position, and I think about possible trade partners, traditional trade partners with the Eagles. And I immediately think, would you trade the number 6 pick for, and I think it's the number 10, or maybe it's the number 10 and the number 20, or number 12 and number 20.
Are you talking about the Cowboys?
The Dolphins.
The Dolphins. Okay, 18 and where are they at? They're somewhere else. 18 and 3.
Well, they had 3. I thought they had 3 first-round picks.
18. I'm seeing 18. And, yeah.
Might be 24, 25. I thought they had 3, but I could be wrong.
24 is Pittsburgh, 25 Jacksonville. That's all I'm seeing. Dolphins at 3, and the Dolphins at 18.
And what do the Jets have then? Because the Jets are the other team that I think of.
2,
the Jets also may have 3.
2 and 23.
Just 2 and 23.
Jacksonville has 2 picks too. Jacksonville's 1 and 25. There's a lot of teams with multiple draft picks in the first round, or more than what I remember.
Yeah. So because a lot of people trade away first-round picks for talent. That's kind of what happened. So, all right. Well, then that doesn't really appeal to me as much, because ultimately I was thinking that you would be able to get 2 first-round picks for the number 6 pick. The Jets do have 3 picks. Frankie's saying that the Jets have 3 picks somewhere. So they have the number 2
23.
Pick.
I only see 2 and 23, unless my eyes are bad, which in that case I need to get LASIK again. But no, but I mean, so look, when you're thinking about trade partners, I don't know if obviously Dallas is probably not going to trade with us unless we don't know what's going to happen with the Dak situation, right? Giants are not looking for a quarterback at 11. Niners are looking for a quarterback at 12. Chargers are not looking for a quarterback at 13. Vikings, who knows about that situation? The Patriots at 15, possibly. Arizona, no. Vegas, I don't think so. Miami, they shouldn't. And then the football team at 19, that's probably where I would cut it off there. But, so there's a couple options here. You got 1, you got 2, 3 solid options there between 10 and 19. So if Howie can get the calls going here, maybe we can move back and get some extra draft picks here. I would not be mad at that situation whatsoever. But if we get there at 6, please just get one of these receivers, please.
No.
You don't want a receiver?
No.
What would you want at number 6 if we stay there?
Number 6, I want defensive linemen. That's what I want. I want a defensive lineman. I want big guys that can move and push people, and I want them on either side of the line. Unless you're going after a quarterback or somebody who is, I don't trust. First off, we don't have a quarterback that can throw them the ball, and we picked 4 receivers in the draft last year. 4 receivers. We didn't even use the fastest one on our team.
I mean,
I don't need a receiver. I want big guys. I want a defensive tackle or a defensive end who is going to be a stud. That's who I want. And then I want, and then in the 3rd and 4th rounds, I want to pick up an offensive lineman. It's time to pick up a center. I am tired of Sayamalu. I've been tired of Sayamalu. If anybody heard me over the Birds breakdown, they knew that I was over Sayamalu last year. You know what I mean? Or 2 years ago. So it's time to move on from him. I think Mailata's good. I think that Sayamalu is going to be okay and serviceable this year. I heard rumors about them getting rid of Kelsey. They ain't getting rid of Kelsey. You cannot get rid of a Pro Bowl center. You don't get rid of Pro Bowl centers.
The only way he leaves Phillies, he retires, honestly. He's not going to get dealt or anything. He's not going to get cut. He's just going to retire if that's the case.
I don't think so. I don't think he's going to retire.
I
think he wants one more season. I think that when everybody's back, he's going to be fine. I mean, everything's going to be great, actually, because ultimately we have our, all-star. It was a Pro Bowl left side of the line or right side of the line with Lane Johnson and Brooks. Both of them, all 3 of those guys made the Pro Bowl from the, Kelsey, Brooks,
right,
and Lane Johnson all made the Pro Bowl.
Right.
When they come back this year, I mean, first off, Brooks is going to be a beast because he's rested now. He's been rested all this time. Lane Johnson's going to be rested. I think that the offensive line is going to be solid. And with the good offensive line, see, that's where the caveat on this season really comes to be. I'm saying that we're going to stink out loud. But with our offensive line being as strong as it is, we could score some points. Now, is the defensive line going to hold up? That's why I want a defensive lineman at pick number 6.
So here's the thing. So I have CBS Sports. They posted this yesterday, their latest mock. Well, first off, they have us taking Raeshawn Slater, an offensive tackle out of Northwestern, someone who didn't play last year, but he was supposed to be the best offensive lineman in this draft. But obviously, there's that warrior. The problem is, I agree, you build a team from your lines, your offensive line, defensive line. Unfortunately, this year is not a deep defensive line class. So I think the first one they have here, and I've heard this name a lot as well, is the Jason Owa from Penn State, that defensive end from Penn State. He's the highest I guess rated defensive lineman in this draft. He's projected to go 22 right now to the Titans. I agree with you. They need everything. Flat out, this team needs everything. The problem is that I feel like, and I don't know why this is so complicated for the Eagles. You create a draft board. You have your best prospects available. You draft based off of that. Whatever the highest position there at wherever you're drafting, you select that player. And for whatever reason, this board is just terrible every single year because the way they rank players is just not the way the rest of the NFL works. So my problem is that going to this draft, what's Howie Roseman's board going to look like? That's the real main issue here. But wow. I do think that they'll address the defensive line in this draft. They'll definitely address the offensive line depth here as well, and whatever comes to them as well. But I just don't know how he sees in prospects.
Well, I don't know either, and I would be okay trading out of that first pick if, like I said, if the first defensive lineman shows up at 22. Because they're saying it's not a deep draft on defensive linemen, or is it so much better everywhere else? This was the year of COVID where defense took a break. Everywhere the defense took a break. Interestingly enough, defense won the championship, for Tampa Bay. It wasn't Tom, Wasn't Tom, although he led the team, got 31 points. So, I mean, you got to give him his props.
Right.
But it wasn't Tom that won that game. It was the defense. So, and you can't tell me nothing. I tell you, Mahomes probably should not have played that game. He probably still should have been in concussion protocol. He looked lost out there and still threw dimes, hitting people in the head. Nobody can catch the ball out there. Ridiculous. It was ridiculous. That all being said, I firmly believe that if they can't get an offensive or defensive lineman right there that's going to make a difference this year, trade out. I don't want them picking another wide receiver. I don't need them picking a running back, maybe a cornerback, maybe a stud cornerback, somebody tall, fast, and can hit somebody. That's what I want to see. I want to see Brian Dawkins in the 6th pick. You know what I mean? That's what I want to see. Now, is that possible? You're going to find the next Brian Dawkins? I can't guarantee that. And nobody can. Nobody can guarantee that. But that's who I want to see. Offense, defensive lineman, defensive backfield. Because I feel like everybody else in our offense is okay. We don't need offensive line because they're going to all come back healthy this year and rested. You know, then you got running backs. Well, I think we got running backs. We could use a bruiser back, but I think we could pick them up anywhere. I mean, right now we still have the rights to what's his name? Although he played like 6 snaps all year. Howard. You know what I mean? So I'd love to see him back in the fold again. You know, and I wonder now with Deuce being gone, how that's going to be handled. Everybody was in love with Deuce, and I can appreciate that. You know what I mean? But I'm happy he's gone. You know what I mean? It's like I sometimes I don't like how the running backs were done. When was the last time we had 1,000-yard running back?
It's been a while. Shady, yeah.
That's because they're hurt or whatever. That's because we're choosing small running backs. And if he was the one that had the most say about that, then I don't want him here anymore. And I'm glad that he's gone. You know, I think he'll do great in Detroit. I think that, again, some people need to change the scenery. So I'm not talking bad about Deuce Staley, but I just think that it was time for him to move along. You know, this was a good reset, and it's a straight reset. Do I think that they're going to pick a linebacker? You know, somebody was saying a little bit earlier, where's it at? Yeah, it was a good thing, and I didn't post it up there. Here it is. A linebacker in the first 2 rounds. Short-sighted when the tight end position has gotten so much better in this league. So not only that, but people are going across the middle. The slot receivers go across the middle, and that is where a good middle linebacker and inside linebackers, because when you're playing the 3-4 or 4-3, that's what you're doing. But realistically, they should be in the nickel all the time, because literally it's time. It's just time. You know what I mean? I would like to see some changes.
Should we get to?
That's exactly it. I'm tired of talking about the Eagles right now. You know, it's like it was just, you know, it's frustrating that Wentz is gone. Bye-bye. What did I hear? That made me laugh out loud? I want to just repeat this because as I was listening to 94 today, you know, this morning, I was listening to Angelo, and he had one of his callers, and he goes, you know, in a year or two, you're going to see all these shirts from Indianapolis coming out saying, when's he going to be gone?
When's he going to be gone?
When's he going to be gone? I liked it. I laughed out loud when I heard that. So that being said, the Flyers played last night at Lake Tahoe with a whole skeleton crew. I felt like it was week 4 of the Eagles season where we were playing Pittsburgh, you know, where everybody was hurt and we had to go there with a makeshift team.
I thought I was going to see you out there. You saw those fans that were in those little canoes along the. I thought I was going to see you with the shoulder pads and.
I tell you what, I thought about that like that, I would have definitely done that.
That'd be great. I just hope you don't fall in there. I hope you can swim. It's probably
but they showed that one guy who was wearing that like Speedo.
Oh,
I'm like, are
oh.
you had to show that? Like, I don't want to see that. My eyes are burnt with that right now.
Right. Well, hey, hold on. I just want to just say this off my chest to start this off. Everyone out there, I know what the conversation was with the Flyers, and I know what happened last night. I saw that game with you guys. Relax. That was my word of today. Today, the word of the day was relax. Carter Hart is a 22-year-old goaltender who's going through it right now. And honestly, COVID's not helping the situation. Fact of the matter is, last night we played without essentially two forward lines. We were without them. At one point, with probably the best playing line right now in hockey, Pasternak, Bergeron, and Marchand. That is probably the best line right now in hockey. Against that line, at one point, we saw Sam Morin and Mark Friedman as the wingers. Then the defensive pairing, you had Ghost and Gus. Are you kidding me? And I think Nolan Patrick was the center. But that's kind of like what Carter had to deal with. 3 of those goals, I'll give it to you. Carter maybe should have done a better job. But this, ladies and gentlemen, is a team sport. And you don't defensive linemen aren't just they're not their responsibility isn't the whole defense. The whole team needs to play better defense. Overall, this season, that's been the Achilles heel. But obviously last night when you're playing with, 2 AHL lines, that's tough against one of the Bruins are the best team in the East right now. So it's just a lot going on. I think we just need to relax as a fan base. They will figure this out. They figured it out last year. Obviously, they ran out of gas in the second round. But look, when it comes to Carter Hart, because it's crazy, Philly sports guy. We're comparing this to the situation we just dealt with Carson Wentz. People already calling him the next Carson Wentz. Guys, relax. That's crazy to me. I just had to get that out the way because that's obviously one of the main topics of today for Philly sports fans. And I just wanted to say, just stick out, just stand up for Carter the same way I did with Carson Wentz. And unfortunately didn't work out, but that's who I am. And I think Carter Hart is our goalie, guys.
I 100% agree. I agree. He got frustrated, and yes, there was 2 goals that I saw specifically were bad goals.
Yeah,
just bad goals. I want to say
glove blocks, yeah, man.
Yeah, and maybe even third one. It's just, and I tell you, and not for nothing, the way that they had the lights set up in there. I mean, there were shadows all over that ice.
And even when the sun was going down too, it was tough.
I'm not talking with the sun. I felt like the sun should have helped us. It's probably why we scored those goals the way we did in the first period. Once we got into that with the sun being down and we had those lights, it was a very weird setup. They didn't have enough lights out there. You know what I mean? Is what the thing was. It was like everybody was playing. It was like us playing hockey. If we got a whole bunch of people together and we got a whole bunch of cars out there around there to put the lights on so that we could play hockey. That's what it was like out there. So, and with that being said, that made it kind of cool.
Right.
However, the NHL forced us to play this friggin' game because they spent a lot of money. So I was hoping we weren't going to get blown out. We did get blown out. You know what I mean? And I get it. Hey, listen, you take away the 5 times that we have played Boston so far this year,
right?
And we're 8-1-1. 8-1-1. I mean, so out of a possible 20 points, we've got 17. And then we've gotten 2 out of 10 in Boston against Boston. I ain't scared.
Yeah, man.
It's okay. We're going to make it. We're going to be just fine. We're gonna make it into the playoffs. We may not even see Boston in the playoffs.
I hope we do.
Well, I'd say that, so we have 3 more games against them, March 7th, and then 2 games in April. And actually, the season doesn't end till May. So I would like us to see a sweep in the 2 games in May or in April. That's where I want to see that. I want to see us win those 2 games back to back. Other than that, I don't care what happens because everybody else, I feel like nobody else. It's Boston and the Flyers and everybody else. And it doesn't matter either way. We're still got to go through Tampa. Tampa is Tampa's the team that's going to be going for the Stanley Cup. It's their cup to lose. That's my opinion. It's their cup to lose. And really, I think you saw, like, if anybody watched the game on Saturday, I watched the first period. When it comes down to it, I think that the Avs are going to be the team that comes out of the West. And you saw the Western Conference final.
How is this going to work? Because obviously we're split up into 4 divisions. So what? We're going to play the Central Division.
So I believe what's going to happen this year is that this is going to revert back to an old time hockey situation where they're going to bring them down. Everybody's going to get down and have 2 teams come out of each division, and then they're going to go into a bubble, and they're going to play from 1 to 8.
Oh my God!
In that spot, I don't know for certain. That
sounds kind of cool, though.
And that's how it used to be. I mean, when you think back in 1980, the Flyers were against the Islanders. We played them. They were in our division, and the divisions were a lot different then. But
right.
It was like, okay, we got everybody together, and we put them all in seeding, and that's how the 2 teams met. And that's how, if it was the 2 best teams in hockey were in the same division, that's the way it just was going to wind up being. And I think that that's going to be how this works. So that's why I wouldn't be surprised to not see teams, like we may not see Boston because of where we fall into things.
Right.
So.
Yeah, man. It's definitely going to be weird. For the Flyers, I think you just got to figure out these situations here. So once we get back, everyone and the thing is too is that before a COVID scare, remember the Washington game? We looked really good. We had our complete team, and then we went into that COVID situation. But that's why I feel okay with the Flyers right now. This sucks. This genuinely sucks right now. But once we start getting people back. Once everyone comes back, it's going to take some time to get back to the play they were against Washington. But once they figure that out, it'll be perfect timing for the playoffs. I'm generally not worried right now with the Flyers. Just we have to get back to normality, and we'll be okay, guys. We'll be okay.
Ed is bringing some fire tonight. Ed was doing this last night too, so I can really appreciate this. The special teams are trash. I agree. Now, for some reason, what is up? What is up with the Flyers getting outshot every game? Every game they're getting outshot. That out of the 15 games that they have played, they have won the shot battle twice.
Right.
They have been getting outshot in epic proportions. Epic proportions. They give up the second most shots in the league, and they are the league's worst in shots taken.
Right.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
And we're 8-1-1 against everybody else except the Bruins.
Right. I understand your frustration. For me, I don't think that's definitely a problem. For me, the problem with that is not so much being outshot. The problem is that, as you were seeing, right, the Philly Sports Guy, the defense has been slacking, right? So when I see that stat, it worries me because our defense does not know how to help out our goaltender, no matter who it is. So when we're getting outshot like that, and I'm seeing, we're losing 6-2, that to me is more so telling. There's teams that, look, the Rangers is a perfect example. The Rangers, I think they're in one of the tops in shots per game, but they're 25th in scoring. So they don't take the best opportunities with their shots. The Flyers are better at that. But for me, I'm concerned about getting outshot because I know that those shots are getting put past our goaltender, and our defense has been the issue so far. So I'm with you there, man. This defensive unit, once we get back to it, needs to get back to playing. And having Coots back there, it definitely helps. But even so, my boy, I love Nolan Patrick, but I have to call him out. He has been. You
don't even want to get me started on Nolan Patrick.
He's been abysmal thus far this season, and even this moment here, I would want him to step up a little bit. I know he's playing with AHL wingers, but guys, we were promised something when it came to Nolan Patrick, and I know what he went through. But at some point, I think my expectation for Nolan Patrick is coming down a little bit. I don't think he's going to be that elite centerman that I thought he would be. I think he could be a good role player for the Flyers, but that definitely has been a little bit disappointing as well this far this season, man.
Hey, listen, I am ready to ship him off with 2 of the 3 G's on the team. I don't care which 2 of the 3, but they all, you can just choose them. Giroux, Gustafson, or Gossespair, and Nolan Patrick. 2 of the 3 Gs and Nolan Patrick. Send them up to Calgary and bring back Johnny Hockey. And whatever, and put in a first or second round pick in the mix if you got to sweeten the pot. I'd so be happy with Johnny Hockey. And I know that Johnny Hockey is not having a fantastic season either, but I think that he would be great in Flyers in the orange and black. I feel like that he is the sniper that we need right now.
What about your boy Jack Eichel? He's supposed to be on the trading block right now.
Who?
Jack Eichel, the star cornerstone piece for Buffalo. He's like their best player.
Yeah. Okay. You know, I'm not. I don't. Buffalo. I don't even know a lot of the players on Buffalo, so it's not even really like. If you said like the players that kind of intrigue me are like Suzuki. You know what I mean? From Montreal.
Yeah.
I know they ain't getting rid of him. They ain't going to get rid of him.
Good young piece.
Too much going on. Buffalo's not going to get rid of any star power. You know, right now. I think that Calgary has actually got a chance with some right players. And I'm so tired. Gossespair's played a lot better than Gustafson. Gustafson is a turnover machine. Loves to turn over. He turned that puck over, or he was the cause of that puck being turned over. And then he was lackadaisical getting over to Pasternak. I think that's how the hat trick got scored.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, you know, come on.
It's the problem. Like, we have like good offensive defensemen, but then like when we have to get back, like the first goal was the prime example. Like, it was a bad turnover in Boston zone. They come right around and get that quick transition. Marchand then crosses the blue line with Pasternak, and it was like a clear lane to Pasternak. And Gustafson allowed him to get past him, and Pasternak put that first goal in a tight squeeze. It's just I agree with you, man. Like, nice to have just one really good defenseman on the top 2 defensive line pairings. It's too much offense right now.
I mean, other than Provorov.
I know, yeah. Provy, he's our best defenseman for sure. But in those 2 top lines, I just need one defensive-minded guy. That's it. Provy's not going anywhere.
Yeah, Provy. If they lost Provy, they'd have to get 2 guys to fill his spot because he plays that many minutes.
Right.
I mean, he's playing 26 minutes a game. Like half of a game, you know, is he's on the ice. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's crazy.
All right.
But
tough, man. So we got the Rangers on Wednesday we're back on NBC Sports for the Wednesday night hockey, and then Saturday and Sunday back to backs against we'll see Jack Eichel and Buffalo.
Well, it'll be interesting to see that. I think that I'm not, like I said, everybody was all excited. I was getting a lot of smack talk by Rangers fans. Rangers.
Oh, what is going on with those guys?
The Rangers?
Those fans have been talking too much this year.
Well, they're talking all this smack, and they're fighting with each other in the locker rooms over there. And I mean, come on, are you guys kidding me? Rangers stink out loud. They stink out loud. You know, they ain't the Islanders, and the Islanders are starting to come back on. I mean, even after not playing 5 games, like we got like 4 games in hand on most of these teams right now, and we're still in 3rd place. I mean, I think we might lose 3rd place tonight if somebody wins. But
I got it right here. Boston 1, Washington 2. We're tied with Pittsburgh and the Islanders. Rangers are now with 15 in 6th place. New Jersey in 7th, and Buffalo dead last right now. So, yeah, it doesn't look as good as it did a week ago. But look, this is a week where tomorrow I expect to win. You lost in a shootout on Thursday night. Get the win tomorrow, and Buffalo, who knows what happens. Hopefully by the weekend we start getting back some of our guys.
Buffalo's not a good team. Buffalo, they're scrappy and can't take the nights off. You cannot take nights off right now. That's the thing. You need to get amongst those guys. So
that'd be perfect. That would be perfect series to get some of those guys acclimated and get back warmed up to their game shape.
So we'll see. Now, moving on to another team that lost yesterday, but it was a little bit quieter, as the Sixers were doing pretty well when I was watching. All of a sudden, the Flyers started losing. Next thing you know, the Sixers were losing, and both teams were winning. Then both teams started losing. Next thing you know, they lost. Yeah.
Right. But look, Toronto is a team that has been playing a lot better. At the beginning of the season, they looked slow, they look old. It was like, all right, maybe it's time to blow it up. But as of late, they definitely picked it up. That last night was their fourth straight win when they beat us. But Siakam and Van Vliet really is the cornerstones right now. Kyle Lowry is supposed to be on the trade block. I know did he play? He didn't play yesterday, but he's supposed to be on the trading block. So keep an eye on that for that one. But they got a really big boost from Chris Boucher, I guess is his name. He scored all his points in the fourth quarter. Really helped that surge, and that's really how they got the job done against us. But I will say a positive though is Ben Simmons. Obviously, he missed the 2 games last week, right after that Monday night 42-point game. First game back, he puts up 28 points, and he looked aggressive again. That definitely made me feel a little bit better. Definitely made me feel a little bit better. It is concerning, though, when Ben puts up 28, Joel puts up 25, and they still lose. So that was a little concerning. I
agree. And, ultimately, again, this is early in the season. So
right.
the ebbs and flows of the NBA season.
And they're still in first.
I was going to say, this is like the dog days of the NBA season, the start of the dog days, where it's just, okay, you got to play out the string and you better win against really, bad teams, and the good teams, you go out there and you kind of, it's like practicing arm wrestling, and I arm wrestle some. So for anybody who does a little bit of arm wrestling, when you're better than somebody else, you don't force the issue. You practice with them like, oh, you feel so strong. You know what I mean? And then when you go up to compete against them, you crush them. You know what I mean? Because you want them to feel better about themselves. And I kind of feel like that's what the Sixers are doing here a little bit. They're playing and they're, they don't really feel it right now. And it's, I think that when it comes closer to the time that'll start to get picked back up again. I get it. Yeah, you turn off the switch. You better make sure you can turn that switch back on again. You don't want the fuse to blow, in the process of that. But they're doing enough right things during these games that make me believe that they're going to be fine until once the playoffs hit is where they're really going to show. And I expected them to be the number 2 seed coming out of the East. You know what I mean? That they were going to wind up number 2. And in the process of being number 2, they'll wind up going to the finals. That's what my thoughts were.
Right.
So we'll see.
Yeah. Look, I like this team. It does concern me though. So I look at, obviously Toby's been playing out of his mind. Joel and Ben are going to do their thing. So when I'm looking at the Sixers lineup, Seth and Danny, are they going to give me enough production come playoff time? I'm going to hope so, yes, because Danny is a veteran guy. He's been here before. Seth has not been here before, but he's been looking good so far. Obviously, the COVID situation really did suck and kind of hurt him a little bit. My main concern as of late has been the bench. Now, Shea came back after missing 5 games. He dropped 9 points, but the bench has not played well as a collective. We're getting close to a month now with that situation there. So Shea kind of leads the charge off the bench. Maxi's kind of cooled off. He's hitting that rookie wall, and it definitely is a little bit concerned. Obviously, Furky's got his liabilities. Isaiah Joe is an unknown. Mike Scott has been in and out. I think we know what Mike Scott is at this point. So I think the Sixers will make a move. I do think that they should make a move come trade deadline time, but obviously you don't want to give up too many assets away because this is still a good team. And especially, I think the thing that would get the Eagles, the Sixers, to the finals would be the fact that they do play effective defense. Obviously, led by Ben. Joel is one of the best, if not the best, rim protector in the NBA. So I think that's the only way we get past the Brooklyn Nets. But, dude, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, those guys are just those guys are killers, man. Those guys are killers.
And that's exactly, you don't want to peak too early.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate that. That's why I say this is like the dog days of the NBA season. Once the All-Star game hits,
Our coach is going to coach in it.
Everybody starts to move forward. You know what I mean? And that's where that actually happens. So I firmly believe that until the All-Star game comes about, that these guys are just like, ho hum. We're in first place. Oh, okay. You know what I mean? And that's just how that is. And that was good coaching, because that's what you got to do. The first 15 games out of the box, you got to do great. And then you could sit back in the lounge chair, recline a little bit and relax. And then afterwards, now you came back up. Now you put the recline chair back in sit-up mode, and then you get ready to stand back up again. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of where that sits. So
right.
I kind of feel like the Sixers are going to be okay too. Like I said, I hear little rumblings in the back of some Nets playing some basketball, but I don't know. I don't think that they are, that they'll come. But I think that they're going to be very easily beaten when it comes to the playoffs. I think that the Nets could wind up being our second round opponent, and we'll take care of business then.
Should be interesting. Can we talk about something warmer? It's cold these days. It's cold these days, Philly sports guy.
Let's talk about some warm. And it started heating up. I when I was down at the Super Bowl, I broke something that the rest of Philadelphia heard from me about Mr. Jubal Herrera being at camp, saying, "Oh, look at that. Jubal was over there practicing with Bohm. Bohm was down there. Aaron Nola was there. Now they weren't letting us check out the field, but when the guy told me that, I'm like, really? That is interesting. You know what I mean? And I've met Jubal Herrera. He's not a bad guy.
Right.
I mean, I wasn't his girlfriend. So I don't know him in that way, and I can't excuse that type of stuff.
Right.
However, I mixed emotions with this.
Right.
I have respect for women. You know what I mean? And that's ultimately a big, big, big deal. So. That being said, there's always going to be somebody who doesn't feel that he should be back and he should come back.
Right.
And then there's other people that are going to feel the other way.
Right. I'm kind of like on the look. We're all human beings, right? We all make terrible mistakes. We all learn from them, right? This is unexcusable whatsoever. Like you said. There's no, especially as a grown man, there is no excuse for laying your hands on a woman. But I do agree in second chances. Now, we don't personally know Jubal Herrera, right? We don't know how he's handled the situation, how he's healed from this. Him and his wherever she was has healed from the situation. I'm okay with.
They're still together, by the way.
They still are together. That's right. So he is the girlfriends. I'm sorry. My issue has been with the fact that it's okay, you gave him a second chance, you believe in him, whatnot. But I just feel like kind of like the Phillies, when I hear obviously Dombrowski, Girardi were not here when this situation happened. So they're in a different boat. However, I do feel like the Phillies as a whole kind of have brushed off a little bit that it is a serious situation. Odubel missed, was it 2 seasons? Now, he missed 2 seasons because of a serious crime. There was domestic violence there. So I don't think it's okay to just kind of not make it a big deal, because it is a big deal. So that's where I stand with it. I'm okay with giving him the second opportunity if you feel as if he deserves the second opportunity. But, I don't think it's okay to just kind of throw it under the rug, essentially. It's kind of that's kind of the vibes I got when I hear the Phillies organization talking about the situation.
Well, and I go back and forth. Like I said, I did meet him,
right?
Personally. I don't know that. I don't know what created the situation.
Right.
However, it's going to be, I think it's going to be tough to ever see him on the field in Philadelphia as a Philly. I don't know that he could ever wear the red pinstripes again.
The thing is, I think he can, only because of the position he plays. I mean,
they're hurting in that position.
Yeah, I mean, do you feel comfortable with any of the center fielders we have right now?
The only person I feel comfortable with is, the guy who I haven't heard much about is McCutcheon. You know what I mean? Like I know they have him in left field, but I feel like he could play center field. That's what I think. But I'm not the coach of the team. You know what I mean? Realistically, my problem with Odubel Herrera is that he ain't got real strong baseball IQ. He makes dumb mistakes all the time. And every time he makes those dumb mistakes. So, I mean, I play softball, and I was playing for a long time. I was playing division. Now this is softball, slow pitch softball, and I'm not talking where I was going on the crazy teams. I'm talking recreational softball, but I was in Division A-B softball. And when I made a mistake, if I made a base running mistake, I heard about it from my team all the time, busting my balls because I made another mistake. And that is what it is. You know what I mean? We ain't playing for money. We're just playing for a little trophy. You know what I mean? Actually, a little bit bigger trophy. You know what I mean? And they would bust my balls because I made a mistake. After a couple of mistakes, you learn from them mistakes. You don't make them mistakes no more. You realize you ain't as fast as you think you are. You realize you don't take that extra base. You make sure that you don't get out on third base with 2 outs. You know what I mean? That's all the things that happen. And that's all the things you got to learn about with baseball. He doesn't learn. He doesn't learn those things. And that's what bothers me. That's what bothers me.
Right.
The rest of this team, I feel, is good. So let's talk about the real of this team. This team scored the 5th most runs in baseball. This team was in the lead, not 21 games that got blown in the 7th, 8th, or 9th inning by the bullpen. 21 games. They were 28 and 32 last year. You had 21 games. They'd have been the best team in the Major League Baseball had they had pitchers that could close the games out. 21 games. 49 and 11 they'd have been.
Right. I mean, listen. I mean, you know what the problem was last year. The problem was the pitching, and unfortunately, I mean, the problem was
bullpen pitching. The bullpen
historically bad. I mean, at the end of the year, we did go through some bad injuries. Hoskins went through it. Harper went through it. JT went through it. That was another that kind of hurt us a little bit. But no, this pitching staff was god awful last year. Really, that's my question mark this year. I mean, the rotation. I mean, obviously, the top 3 are really solidified: Nola, Wheeler, and Eflin. After that, I mean, are we going to go back to Velasquez, right? Like, who else is going to be there? I'm assuming Spencer Howard's getting moved back to the bullpen. I don't think Girardi felt too comfortable with him. And then this bullpen has a lot of new names that either A, unknown name, or B, they're taking a risk with. A lot of these guys are there's a high risk, high reward type of situation for a couple of these guys. And the Phillies had to do that because of, unfortunately, the money situation that is sports in 2020, 2021. So look, obviously this core is a lot of talented generational players. You talk Bryce Harper, JT Realmuto, Aaron Nola, but how deep is it? How deep is this? And I look at the rest of the division. Obviously, I think the Braves are still going to repeat. The Marlins are going to take another step. I'm one of the buyers. I do think what Derek Jeter is doing is actually smart. I'm not buying the Nats, and Come on, the Mets. Come on, the Mets. But I mean that's kind of where I'm at. And you know what? Like Philly sports guy, you don't understand. Like I want to buy in on the Phillies. I want to believe the Phillies are like that surprise team, but I can't. I can't do that to myself. So it's a lot of question marks, man. And not to mention JT's going to miss this month. So, but it should be okay.
Well, I don't mind JT. The problem I have with JT missing a month is that he's going to be a month behind. And that you still need spring training. You still need it. That's why you got to throw the ball. You got to swing the bat. You got to get all the muscle movement going so that it becomes second nature. That's what's got to happen.
Well, not even that. Like we mentioned, there's a lot of new pitchers. He has to get acclimated to some of these new pitchers too.
Correct. And there's going to be a lot more coming in. More coming in. So I'm interested to see. I think the Phillies are a playoff team. If they can score as many runs as they did last year, then they definitely will be, because I got to imagine that so I think Nola had a down season, but he didn't. All these starting pitchers pitched a lot less innings last year.
Right.
So they're going to be a lot more rested. You're going to watch the run production, I think, as a whole, go down tremendously this year, because pitchers are going to be a lot more rested than they've been in a long time.
It's true.
They haven't pitched as much. They have not pitched as much as what's going on. So I feel that that you're going to see a lot less run production. And teams that score runs at 5 or more per game, if they're scoring 4.5 and 4 3/4 on average a game, that team's going to win 90 to 100 games, especially if they have games that go through 162 game season. And I think that's really ambitious. That's very, very ambitious. Where they're going to have these double headers. I guess the reason why they're doing the 162 is that they're going to back up these double headers, and you're going to have these 7-inning games and stuff like that. But which wasn't so bad. I liked it. I liked that idea, but they got to put in some space. They got to put in some space to be able to deal with the fact that COVID's still out there. And if they don't, they're going to be like hockey right now. Hockey is not. Like I said, I thought hockey was going to postpone. They're not going to postpone. But, because I think they're all making deals. I think everybody's going to wind up getting vaccinated.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's going to happen as well, man.
So, and then not bringing up the rear, but definitely the last ones to talk about. There's going to be some football in Chester.
Yes, sir. Well, so far, the only thing going to be played first, it's going to be weird here in Philadelphia, but the Union are going to start off the season with the CONCACAF Champions League. For those who don't know, it is the continental tournament. If you know anything about the UEFA Champions League, sort of similar. It's the North American teams face off against the Caribbean, and also Central America are part of this as well. As far as the MLS goes, this is a tournament that does not go our way. I think the last time an MLS team has won was probably the LA Galaxy, like in the late 2000s, I think. I have to double check. But it's tough for MLS teams because of scheduling. Mexican, Caribbean, even Central American teams already have played half a season while the MLS hasn't even begun when this tournament begins. So the Union's first matchup will be the Costa Rican giant Deportivo Saprissa. The first game will be in Costa Rica. That will be April 7th. I got the time right here. That will be at – I don't have time. I'll be and then we have the return in Chester. It's 2 games you play. So you play 2 games. Whoever scores the most goals with 2 games combined moves on to the next round. The second game in Chester will be on April 14th. So I will definitely, if you guys follow me or if you follow the Philly Sports Guy, you guys know we'll give you guys a date. But, of course, shouts to Eddie there. It's a tough draw, but Saprissa's a team going through transition right now. They got a lot of new players. So if the Union Union usually in tournament situations play really well, they like that type of environment, and Jim Kirchin gets them ready. So if Saprissa sleeps on us, it could go really bad for them.
And I'd be excited to see that. I mean, and when does that happen?
So the first game will be April 7th. The next game will be on April 14th, so a week apart. The MLS season scheduled to begin, I believe, April 6th for this season. So the good news is no matter what happens in these two games, the Union will be really well prepared for this season. So that should go well no matter what. It should go
well. They have to play a game. Will the Union have to play a game in the MLS between these two games?
No. So what the Union are going to have to do there's three other MLS teams that are going to compete in this. These other three MLS teams are going to probably do the same thing. They're going to set up exhibition games. We're probably going to play those other three teams as well, so we can all get ready for this tournament.
And they're going to find some other Sounders in it.
The Sounders are not in it. It is the Timbers, Atlanta United, and who is the other team? Why am I blanking on it? Timbers, Atlanta United, and Columbus. I'm sorry, Columbus. Columbus, they won the MLS Cup. So you got the Union, Columbus, Atlanta, and Portland Timbers. All four of those teams will be playing in this tournament here.
Got ya.
And then the other major thing with the Union, they have found a replacement for Mark McKenzie. We talked about it. He's in Europe now, in Belgium. So to replace the depth of him, he's not going to replace him. That's going to be tough to replace. But we found a 25-year-old Scottish center back. His name is Stuart Finley. He comes from I'm probably butchering this name. So if we have any Scots out here, please correct me. But Kilmarnock. That is part of the Scottish Premiership. Kilmarnock. There we go. Shouts to Philly sports guys. Got some Scottish in him. Kilmarnock FC. So he's coming over from there. 25-year-old kid. We have guys kind of in the same mode. Younger guys. A lot of they're really talented. So hopefully he's going to come here, develop, and maybe get sold back to Europe. But no, it's definitely good times here with the Union. We're supposed to get one more signing. We're supposed to find the replacement for Brandon Aronson, the central attacking midfielder that left. So that news should come. Hopefully, we don't have a lot of time here. So hopefully by mid-March we'll have that kid. But visas has been an issue as well. Trying to find visas for these guys. Obviously, the situation with COVID has been hard for traveling inside and outside the United States. That's one thing with the Union. A lot of these players, they're not from California or Texas. They're either from the Philadelphia area or outside the country. So. It's still good times. Still good times here.
One last question I got about that before we go take a quick break and we start taking some calls. What's going on with Messi?
Not so well. They just got bounced, I believe, from the Champions League by PSG. They lost 4-1. Barcelona, it's clear. I think they're looking to go young. He's kind of like on his last. It's a terrible last stance. It's more like a Dan Marino last stance from what it looks like. But I personally, I talked about it before. I think he goes to Manchester City next season, plays 2 years there. The Manchester City ownership group also owns NYCFC here in the MLS. He plays 2-3 seasons in New York and then retires, does whatever. He's probably gonna be a business adventurer. So he does have a home here in the United States. That's why the MLS rumors have been heating up. But I mean, you've seen the league too. Eurostars really don't come here like they used to, but Messi's a different breed. Messi's a generational player, probably still the best player in the world right now. So
I mean, there's definitely space. You had Beckham.
Yeah.
Beckham was the guy. He came here for a little while. I would love. This is where I would love part of our new ownership to reach out.
Messi.
One athlete to another. One guy who's like, hey, I think that you would be great playing for my team over there in Philly. We should make something happen,
We'll get some of these 4-for-4s down there finally.
Yeah. You would watch soccer in Philadelphia jump way up.
I know.
Up if that was to happen up here.
I know. I trust
I keep wishing for it. I mean, I doubt that that's going to happen. But
I hear it and I understand what it means to have like a superstar like that. I get American soccer is not that big, but for me personally, I just want a winning product. I don't care who the hell's dressing up with that uniform as long as they wear it with pride and they're here to win. Right now, we have a group young, hungry. They're a little unproven and they kind of get slept on, but they want to win. And then that's the most important part. Here in Philadelphia, I don't care what sport it is. We just want to win. We want to be the best. And I think
and we got a plate to protect.
Yes.
That's our plate. and I don't want to give it up to nobody else.
That's right. We're going for the cup this year. We want to win the MLS Cup this year for sure.
We need our first cup. It's time to get a cup.
Yes, sir.
It's like, hey, listen, we had these high hopes, and then wound up, the team that we beat twice this season got us. We did those back-to-backs before. That's how the MLS playoffs used to be, with the most goals in 2 games, and they said, "Oh nope, it's just going to be a one and done with COVID," and we wound up losing that out. So
that is why I tell you, I'm okay with the Flyers losing every game in the regular season. We play them. We play the Bruins in the playoffs. We'll beat those guys. That's why I'm telling you this. Reverse Philly sports psychology.
I hear that. Well, listen, guys, we're going to take a quick station identification break, and then we'll be back to take all the calls. So just stick around. Like I said, we'll be back in about 90 seconds. So definitely hold off, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to Northeast Streaming Sports. A group of independent podcasts came together under one umbrella to give you a network that streams from Northeast, New York, down the East Coast to Louisiana, and across the Atlantic Ocean to the United Kingdom. Northeast Streaming Sports streams live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Can be seen on Twitter and Instagram. Audio carried on Spotify with our own website for the best sports information, updates, commentary, and entertainment. Sportscope, TGI Sports Talk, The Safety and the Sports Writer, The Philly Sports Guy, The Mac and Jack Sports Show, Stu's Wrestling Podcast, Four Stripes on Ice, Talking Baseball with Sal and Gioletti, Unscripted, The Big Shaw Sports Report, Frankie C Sports, Fantasy Football Face-Off, 12 shows and growing. There's one place to get your sports on Northeast Streaming Sports.
Hey, I tell you, it always comes back a little fast. I always expect to see that extra hey coming out, and it never does. But that's all right. It isn't. We're gonna let everybody call in today. This is part of the new show format. We wanted to have everybody get a chance to come in and talk some sports with us. And so we're going to give everybody get 3 minutes. That's it. So after 3 minutes, we're going to start booting you off, because there's a lot of people that are going to want to get on, and I want to get everybody on. So make sure you say your points out quick, and we'll get to start talking some sports. Like I said, it's been a lot of fun doing this show with you guys, and I know that we're changing the format a little bit, but we move and shake just like everybody else, and that's the way that we want to do it. So let me make sure I get it out to everybody, because I just screwed that up a little bit. And real quick, just so that we can know, so as we're doing this and we're going to get some callers on, there we go. I'm going to show that up there right now. I'm going to take the whole page right this second while he's getting all that stuff together. I am doing a 5K run, and I am doing a fundraiser for Eagles Autism. And as you see, the first prize, the second prize, and the third prize are all tickets to the Eagles game. First prize is tickets, all expense paid trip down to Washington and FedEx Field. A second prize is going with myself and the Eagles Demon, to go, and we're going to paint you guys up. We're going to paint the 2 people that come with us to that game. That's going to be a super fan special right there. 3, you're going to just get 2 tickets to an Eagles game, and then a jersey, or like I said, and then some custom swag. So definitely, it's $10. You can find me at the @ the Philly Sports Guy on Venmo, or $ the Philly Sports Guy on Cash App. $10 per ticket, and absolutely, or if you want to come run with me, you can go to my page. You'll be able to find all that information. Definitely come check it out. Also, real quickly, as we're getting everybody on, I just want, just kind of want to get all my sponsors out of the way. You've seen the ticker running underneath all of this time. And, I'm saying about Philly sports trips, 100%. Well, some of these trips are about to happen. They are going down to spring break, and they have a number of tickets available still. So if you want to do a last-second trip and you want to go down to spring break with them, go to phillysportstrips.com. I think they leave March 16th, and they're going down there for 5 days. And who knows, you might just see the Philly sports guy down there with you guys.
Yes, sir.
Can't guarantee nothing. But not only that, I want you to go to phillysportstrips.com. June 26th is we're playing the Mets up in New York. And that's the Philly Sports Guy trip. The Philly Sports Guy trip to New York, where we take over. It's not even Shea anymore, so I don't even know what I'm about to call it. But it's
City
York
Field.
City Field, that's right. City Field. We're going to go check it out. I want to say Shea. I want to blow up that out. I want to blow up that out. And then the other big trip that I want to mention is on a Wednesday in July. I can't tell you the exact date because I don't have it on the top of my head. But we're going again up to New York to go to Yankee Stadium.
Oh.
Phillies versus the Yankees. We're going to be there, and we're going to be loud and proud. A full day trip. Go up there. We take over Yankee Stadium. We win that game, and we come back home. That's real fast. 1 day trip. Those are the two best trips that you got. And then, like I said, we're waiting for the Eagles schedule to come out to find out when we're going to Vegas, baby. Vegas, baby. phillysportstrips.com. There ain't nobody better. Definitely want to go check it out. phillysportstrips.com. All right. So we got some people on. I'm going to start out with my main man here, Ian. I know that he's been following us all this time. What's up, brother? How you feeling, my man?
Not much, guys. How you guys doing? To hit you up, I did look up the NHL situation. It is 1-4, so it'll be 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3 for the playoffs.
Cool.
And I also dug into the NFL situation with Carson Wentz. He's going to get the luckiest situation because Indianapolis has like one of the biggest caps for the year, and the big guys like Juju Smith-Schuster, Chris Godwin, Allen Robertson, Sammy Watkins are all up, and they're going to go after it. And now I'm trying to figure out, great. Now, what's going to be left for Miles Sanders? He's going to be the only target left for the Eagles. He's their only weapon, and I feel sorry for him because everyone's going to beat the crap out of him.
Miles Sanders?
Yeah, he's the only guy who's left. The only weapon that's left for the Eagles. If you think about it.
Well, but that's actually not true though, because realistically, we still have Jackson for 1 year. We've got Alshon Jeffrey for 1 year.
Left. Dijon got cut.
No, he did not leave. He did not leave yet. He has not been kicked off the team. He was signed for 2 years. We have him for another year. He's actually under contract.
You talking about Deshaun Jackson?
Deshaun Jackson. So he's still part of this team right now.
He's going to get cut.
So this was from the Eagles Instagram account right here. I don't look.
I see that.
So
he was cut?
Yeah, that was the report last week. Alshon came out today. Obviously, that one's fresh too. So I'll wait and see until the Eagles officially release it. But
and then what's going to do with Zach Ertz? He's going to be traded.
They're trying to trade him, but he's probably going to get cut.
He's going to be free agent, and Carson's going to be, hey Zach, you want to come over to Indy with me? Get another ring?
Oh yeah, for sure, he's going to do that.
I expect that to happen.
That's your fantasy pick right there for AFC. All the quarterbacks, because it's going to be what? Mahomes. Let's see. AFC's
definitely stacked.
Yeah, and
Right.
then
So I mean,
Carson, and that's going to be the top 3 picks.
that's going to be hard though. I mean, to come out of the AFC. All right. So Ed says Jackson was cut and Jeffrey is going to be cut.
Right.
So Jeffrey's all dead cap space. Jeffrey's all dead cap space.
Right.
Jackson may not be dead cap space. So
And I think they're going to get right now. What I was looking was as well. You guys talking about Dak. Dak's gone because he ain't budgeting from that $40 million. And they're gonna knowing Jerry, he's like, oh look, I can get a quarterback for cheaper. I am in prime position, and I think that's gonna probably be happening with Dak. He's gonna go bye bye, and you're gonna see some other kid just fill in so good.
I heard rumors. I heard rumors along the line where they were talking about putting Seattle quarterbacks, Russell Wilson in Dallas. That's where he was slated to possibly go.
I don't think that's where.
We'll see.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know. Lots of cuts got to happen. I mean, they got to cut very deep with the Eagles to be able to get them into cap formation here. I mean, that's going to be the hard part.
Cap. I think they're saying like NFL for all the leagues. They're saying possibly for the next, not just this year, but next year, a cap might drop. Which is unprecedented.
Well, so this year the cap definitely dropped. Next year the cap's going to go back up again. So, and the reason why it's going to go back up again is because they're not going to go another year without fans in the stands. The NFL lost way too much money, and they're not going to care if people get sick or not. Just my opinion.
Yeah, let the Fed step in and say, nah, because that's
what's going to have to happen. That's what's going to have to happen. But actually, here we go. We got Ed saying that there is a movement towards Dak getting extended by March 9th. So we'll see. We will see what happens with that.
That's going to be the tricky part of those extensions.
Yeah, exactly.
Wasn't the rule the franchise tag that you can only tag a player once or something?
Twice. You can be tagged twice.
Kirk got tagged twice.
Yeah, and the second time, actually, I believe you can get tagged the third time, but the third time is like you get paid. You're the top played player in the league.
Yeah, that's
so, and that could be a lot of money.
CBAs, and that's the crazy part.
Yeah, so I think that they could tag them. I think they could tag them a number of times, but we'll see. We'll definitely see what happens. It looks to me as if.
In the end, it's Jerry, and he can make an ego decision that's going to kill them in the playoffs.
Right. Well, like I said, I think that the Eagles are going to have a down season this year, and that's just kind of what it is. After and then, like I said, we hit the reset button this year. Next season, we get back in the swing of things in 2022. So we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see what actually happens.
I'm heading to the Eagles game out in Denver this fall because my friend's having a bachelor party, and he's like,
nice.
We're just lined up with the Eagles schedule. I'm like, now we might have to reschedule that Denver party.
Well, hey, listen, I'm going to be out in Denver this year for the Eagles-Denver game. That's an absolute stop I am making this year. I'm going to Mile High to go watch Eagles go against Denver. So whenever that bachelor party is, you let me know. I'm crashing that party, okay?
All right. I'll give you a heads up on that one.
All right, perfect. Awesome. Right. Well, listen, I appreciate it, Ian.
Thank you
coming
so much,
on and talk to us tonight.
Oh, one thing on the Flyers, though. They need a 6'6" defenseman. I've been saying this, but we need someone just to beat the crap out of Patrick Bertard, the damn Bruins. And the Rangers are quiet right now because what's going on in Russia. There's a lot of Russian allegations against Marty Partain, saying he beat up some 18-year-old chick. It's starting to come out as possibly fake news from Putin. Putin might have sent fake releases into the to cause it because Amari got insulted Putin. So that's going to be interesting to see. So he's not going to be in the next few games.
Yeah, he's going to be out for a little bit. So we won't have Panarin tomorrow or Wednesday.
I tell you, the Rangers are a hot mess. They are a hot mess. They're fighting each other in the locker room.
Yet there's these fans here coming at us.
Yeah, it's so.
New York also a total mess because everyone else is like. I have friends in New York saying, "Yeah, everyone's leaving. Everyone's like the whole attitude in New York is like they're getting picky at each other, like from the sports teams. Everyone's trying to leave New York because it is a hot mess.
Right.
It's like I'm not bringing in politics or anything, but that's what's going on. They're considered hopping out. Same thing in Cali. They want to like players are out there saying like, why are we sticking here? This is insane. Like we want to go somewhere at least somewhere more safe because of these restrictions.
Well,
like that.
Yeah, the Rangers used to be storied. Yeah, that story is just about over. That's just how I feel about it. And they'll come back again. You know what I mean? It is New York, so they'll come back. But it's been a mess. You know, they've had a mess up there this year.
Oh yeah.
But and I really do appreciate you coming on. Thank you very much. I got some more people that I got to get to. But thank you again. I'll see you guys. I'll see you again every Monday. Come on, we're going to be doing this format from here on out. So I'm spending some time. Thanks, you.
Dude.
Thanks,
all right. And next we got. You've seen him. You know who he is.
Hey.
What happened there? Oh, there we go. I got WTF. I'm sorry. Actually, Finn will be next. I don't know what happened. I just hit the wrong button. Next thing you know, I got WTF on the line. He is the premier, Washington football team fan, and also Chicago Bulls fan. How was that Bulls-Sixers game?
So listen, I'm not gonna lie. I did expect it to go much worse than it actually was. I'm not gonna blame it on the refs, but there was some bad calls both ways. And we did lose that game. And that's what it is. I mean, you can't blame the refs off of that game. It was a great game, honestly. I mean, I was happy that Joel scored 50.
Career high.
Maybe on a different team it would be better, but it's fine.
Look, you're not the only fan base to say this when it comes to calls, and you could say most of the calls were towards Joel Embiid. He got fair share of calls. Look, when it comes to Joel Embiid, this is why I tell you guys he's an absolute mismatch. He's bigger, he's stronger, he's faster than a lot of centers in the NBA. So, and a lot of players, quite honestly, in the NBA. So, it's just tough. Sometimes you kind of have no choice, even though you think you're playing good defense. Joel's his basketball IQ is really out. It's incredible because the kid has been playing since he was, I think, 16. So, it's definitely incredible. But I hear you, man.
Honestly, though, like that shot, I just remember play by play how we lost that game. I remember Joel Embiid in the corner took that fade away, and I was like, "There's no way he just made that."
Well, Wendell Carter did play good until he ran into foul issues.
Yeah, I think that's what killed our team too. Is we just like the foul, and I mean, listen, we were the 9th or the 10th seed, and we were playing the first seed, so I wasn't expecting it to be that close of a game towards the end.
Mickey talking some crap on you.
Listen, they
Bulls. You said the Bulls were going to win. I remember you coming on my show and saying the Bulls were going to win.
Listen, everything. Wait, no, I don't. Yeah, you got me. But yeah. So, but
that's all right. That's all right.
I remember I asked Philly Sports Guy about this, but Parcero, what do you think on the Wentz trade?
Well, like we said, happy it's done with. Look, everyone's at fault here. Carson's at fault. Howie's at fault. Jeffrey's at fault. Unfortunately, the situation is Carson could not come back to the situation. He was ready to get out of here just by his silence itself. It was clear as day he wanted to get out of here. The problem is now, okay, he's gone. The return sucked, and we're going to eat up that dead cap space. But we don't even know if Jalen's going to be the starting quarterback next year. So we're okay, situation's over. But it's you open one ugly door, now we have to open up another ugly door. So I wish nothing but the best to Carson. Thank you for 2017. Thank you for that 2016 draft was really special for me. So thank you for all that. But it's it's life of an Eagles fan, man. I was young living through Donovan McNabb. I had to say goodbye to that era and move on to Mike Vick, and I'll do the same thing here, man. But it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, I think everybody can tell now. And even when they got rid of Wentz is that the Eagles are going through a full rebuild process. Now getting rid of, assumingly getting rid of Jeffrey, and now getting rid of Deshaun Jackson, which I want.
Coming back, come back to W.
I would like to see that. I don't like him because he is a showboat, and that's a bad thing about him. And he is injury prone. So I mean,
honestly, I think both Jeffrey and Deshaun are done. I mean, if a team wants to take a risk on Alshon, but how can you give Deshaun a contract? He hasn't played the full season 2 years, so I think he's done. But we'll see.
Do you see Alshon maybe going to Indianapolis?
That would be fun.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, he better if he goes back to Chicago and him and Nick Foles start winning again.
Well, Nick Foles, I heard, is possibly going to Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Really?
I thought that was media driven, but I actually heard that there's more to go into that. So,
dude, after just this season, everybody the media is so hot right now, and it's just assuming stuff. It's not even some of the stuff's not even real. I heard we're looking at getting Mac Jones at 20. I'm like, what?
So here's the thing, WTF. So most of the times reporters are able to go, in normal situations, are able to go into locker rooms. They're able to hear what's going on, go directly one-on-one. This year, they don't have that up. Everything is Zoom, just kind of like school right now. Everything is Zoom. So I think what's going on is a lot of reporters, their job is to create stories. That's their responsibility. That's their job. So I think what's happening is writers or reporters are trying to, create some sort of spin on some stories. That's why you're hearing so many outlandish different types of rumors and whatnot. But that's just my theory on it.
Yeah.
Well, I hear you. So I listen to WTF. I love having you come on, but I got some more people that are trying to get on. So I appreciate you coming up. Hey, definitely check back in with us a little bit later. You know that we like to go late night and stuff like that behind the scenes. So definitely check us out if you're not too busy on Sneaky G's podcast.
Well, today's Monday, so
that's right.
Just don't do Philly sports fan type of stuff. I don't want to talk to Sneaky G through your phone. I want to talk to Sneaky G directly.
Exactly. Sneaky G, I'm calling you out. Where you at, Sneaky G?
Can I chill backstage?
Absolutely. Okay. I got some space, so you can definitely do so. But thank you for coming on, WTF. I really appreciate it.
Cool. Appreciate it.
All right. And next, I've got my main man who I was trying to bring on last time. It's a little dark over there.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry.
Is that Finn?
No, it's Hyper Night.
Hyper Night. Oh, I guess. Oh, I'm thinking that you were like Finn. I got the wrong night. What are you? You're a Vegas Knights fan?
No, that was my old YouTube name. I just never changed it on this.
I got you.
All right. There you go. What's up, my man? How you feeling?
Good, man. What about you?
I never had a bad day in my life, but every time I say that now, I feel like I'm Howard Eskin. So I'm feeling awesome is what I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so what do you got going on? How did you feel about this week in Philadelphia sports?
I don't know. I guess okay. I mean, the Wentz trade is thankfully done. Forget if that was last week or last week.
It was Thursday, right?
Yeah. That was the funny part is I got whatchamacallit, because it was snowing. Didn't go to school that day. We were online.
Right.
My teacher was like, "You think today's the day that Wentz gets traded?" I'm like, "Yeah, no." And then right after I got out the Google Meet, I look up on my phone. Wentz has been traded. I literally threw my phone across the room. I'm like, "No." I mean, I was happy he got traded, but I was like, "No way!" Right? The minute I logged out of it, he got traded.
And the teacher was right.
Yeah.
Go figure. Them teachers, they don't know anything most of the time.
Yeah.
What class were you in? What class were you taking when that teacher said, do you think that today, was it a math class? Because that's what I would have done. If I was a math teacher, I'd have said, what do you think the possibilities are of Wentz getting traded? Let's make an equation.
Well, I was in science at the time. We were doing hurricane stuff because that's what we're learning right now. But so
Gotcha.
Cool. So what's more shocking? Was it this trade or the Shady? I feel like Shady was the last shocking trade we had in Philly.
I think Shady's more shocking because, I mean, it was like we knew that Wentz was going to be traded. It's not that shocking.
Right.
I mean, the return that we got was shocking, but really, I think Shady was more shocking of a trade.
We might have got a worse return for Shady.
Well, you know what? And I don't think that it was shocking. What'll be shocking is if we don't get a first-round pick. That's what'll be shocking. If for some reason that they don't go to the playoffs and he doesn't do 70% of the snaps or 75% of the snaps, that's what's going to be shocking. That's what's going to be a very big deal. If we don't get a first-round pick out of this, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And ultimately, if we don't get a first-round pick out of this, thank God that we got rid of him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that makes it really a bad trade for Indianapolis.
Hyper Knight, who starts week 1 for the Eagles in 2020, 2021?
I don't know, man. It's weird. It's like, okay, so we're going to trade Wentz. Okay, Hershey. Oh, wait, no. We're going to bring somebody and mentor you. The dude's out of his rookie season. Let him go. I don't want him to sit on the bench in the first game of his starter season, which I'm pretty sure that's what they call it, right? Starter season after rookie, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it works.
Yeah. So they call him, I don't want him in his second. I don't want Hurts in his second season in the first game being on the bench behind somebody who sucks, like somebody like Tyrod Taylor, Cam Newton. I mean, Cam Newton's not that bad, but still, he just can't throw for anything. No.
All right. Let me give you 2 names. Let me get your thoughts. Mitch Trubisky.
No.
Gardner Minshew.
Yes. Listen, I'm fine with Gardner Minshew because he's not that bad. Like I know. No. Wait. Gardner Minshew is not that bad. He just has to play for a day.
Yeah, he's not that bad if we were doing a porn. Yeah, like that's who I would have Gardner Minshew for. Other than that, I don't want him on my football team.
I mean, I'm always saying having him for like just mentor, like you know what I mean, type stuff. Just there.
No, I mean, I definitely think whoever you bring in at the quarterback position has to like kind of push Jalen, and not like Jalen and Carson type of push. I'm talking about like that healthy, like, yo, today let's go get it type of thing, like, and push each other type of thing. But that situation with Jalen and Carson was just like it was uncalled for. It really should have never happened. But I'm more Philly sports guy wants Cam Newton here. He thinks that's the best. I
don't want Cam Newton. I think that he would be a very good fit here as a backup quarterback. As somebody to be able to teach Hurts how to play the quarterback like that.
Wait, didn't he go 8 for 10 on the season for passing?
What's that?
Didn't he go 8 for 10 on the season for passing when he had 8 passing touchdowns? And
Cam had 8 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. But we're not even talking about Brissett. Brissett was the Sirianni's backup in Indy. He's a free agent as well.
I don't think they'll let Brissett go. Honestly, I'm sorry, but like I think the Colts are going to keep Brissett as a backup because he's a very high-end backup in my mind. Just saying.
Unfortunately, we can't outbid anyone for any player. So.
Right, that's exactly correct.
Well, I mean,
I think remember when Dougie was here in his first year, he had Chase, someone he was familiar with. Mm-hmm. I just like having that backup quarterback familiar with the coach's system and try to mentor Jalen. It wouldn't be a terrible option, but like we just said, like you can't go bidding for backup quarterbacks. Get what you can. So, I mean, I think what you really just need as a backup quarterback, someone who has starting experience. Yeah. Obviously, Trubisky, Minshew are not good starting quarterbacks, but they have that experience, and I think that's beneficial.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I mean, what you just said.
Well, Piper Knight, I appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much. I know that you're a follower of me. Like I said, I didn't recognize you with the Hyper Knight. I thought you were Finn, our Vegas Knights fan. So I didn't mean to confuse you like that.
That's fine.
But I appreciate it. You coming on. Hey, listen, every Monday, this is the new format. So definitely come check us back out again.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my man. You have a good night.
Thanks, Hyper Knight.
See you guys.
See you, man.
And we got Mr. Raven fan, Mr. Capital Nation coming up. What's up, my man?
There he is. What's going on?
Hey, how y'all doing?
I'm good.
We're doing good. How about yourself?
Good.
He's the Capitals fan. He's a Ravens fan. He's a Lakers fan. He's
And then I got me a Kobe Bryant jersey.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. He's a Kobe fan, is what it is.
That's classic, man. That's some good stuff.
So, how you doing today?
Good.
How are things? How are things going? How was the snow down by you?
It was a mess.
So, did it snow a lot, or was it more rain?
It snowed, then it rained, then it snowed, then it rained. It kept on going back and forth.
That's okay, because that means it didn't lay that much, and it was only like a little bit of slush. So that's not
The
too bad.
side that barely gets like sun. That's the side we live on. Where the
Gotcha. So what do you got going on for me today? What do you got? What question you got for me today?
I believe the Eagles need like somebody like Kaepernick for like their position. Like they need somebody like him to like come in and help the Eagles out. I think they're gonna choose a quarterback, but I feel like they're not.
So you mentioned that, and I so beyond the all the political stuff about Colin Kaepernick, let's so try to talk about this in a realistic football sense. I wouldn't be so against the fact of having him come in, except for the fact that it's been now 4 years. 4 years that he's played even on an NFL team.
Are you saying you want Colin Kaepernick or someone like Colin Kaepernick?
Someone like him to be get have him like try out for the team, check do you like him? Like how is he better than Jalen Hurts or that?
Are you not a buyer on Jalen Hurts?
To me, Jalen Hurts is not that good at passing, but he's better than Carson Wentz.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I choked on an ice cube there for a second. So I feel, so to put this in a term that I think that makes a lot of sense. I feel like Jalen Hurts is a poor man's Lamar Jackson. That's what I feel like. I feel like that it's Lamar Jackson is who you'd want. And in the meantime, we've got Jalen Hurts. That's what I feel. And it's not a real slight on Jalen Hurts. I just look at it as I feel that he's just not as good as, like, if I had to choose between the two, Lamar Jackson would be my guy.
And also, are you gonna go to the Orioles game this year? The Flyers versus the Orioles?
The Flyers versus the Orioles?
Yes.
You mean the Phillies and Orioles?
Yes. Oh, that's what I meant.
You gonna make an appearance in Baltimore?
Yeah.
You gonna see the Philly sports guy on the harbor?
I don't know.
I would be game for that. The Phillies versus the Orioles. I'll go down there for that. I wouldn't mind spending some time down there. It's beautiful down that area.
Yeah,
Are you getting me tickets? Are you going to buy me tickets there, Capital Nation, if I go?
No.
All right. But you might see me down there. I might be game for that. So, actually, yeah. Look at that. Eddie's feeling you with Jacoby Brissett.
At the right price. At the right price.
Right. Yeah. I mean, obviously, it would have to be really inexpensive. But so have you been watching any Capitals games yet?
Yes, I watched it yesterday.
They won yesterday.
They beat the Devils, right?
Yeah, we was losing in the first quarter, then we came back.
Nice.
Cause we was at this place in PA yesterday. We went skiing, and then I saw it I was watching it there. They had a restaurant playing it.
So you went skiing yesterday in Pennsylvania?
Yes.
Blue Mountain?
Yes. And we went snow tubing.
You got a time. Look at you.
That's Blue Mountain. That's a great spot to go.
Yeah, man.
And the Poconos are an awesome spot.
I
Yeah.
believe we won that this year.
You going to go learn how to ski?
Yes.
Skiing's a lot of fun. I have my skis downstairs. I ain't been on my skis in a little while, but I'm dying to get back up there. In fact, as a little secret, I was going to go check out. I was going to maybe go out of town this weekend and go see some slopes, but I don't know that I'm going to actually go skiing. I was just going to go see some slopes. So, but anyways, but I'm a big fan of skiing. So anytime you learn to ski, definitely go check that out. That's a lot of fun up there, especially up in Blue Mountain.
Also, I have another question. I told Sneaky G, when you're going to do the NFC East thing again?
All right, so that's coming. That is coming. I am waiting for us to be able to. I want to get closer to the draft. I have to get more things put in place because to have the NFC East in total, I need to make sure that I have all the teams represented well. So that's the big deal with that. But I am definitely working on that and expect to see that in mid-April.
Are you gonna have sorry for asking you too many questions.
Go ahead.
You're good.
Also, I believe y'all need to get Juju Smith-Schuster. Get somebody like that can catch the ball.
You know what? I would get him, but I don't like his TikToks. Him dancing on them star and everything else. I don't like him dancing on the logos.
I do the dancing for the Eagles on TikTok. All right, and we don't need Juju. I'm just kidding.
But yeah, that's.
All right.
Anyways. I appreciate it, Cap Nation. Thank you
Thanks
very
so much, man.
brother. You have a good night. Thank you for coming on, and we'll be here, like I said, every Monday night. Come check us out.
Okay, see you next time.
Thank you,
brother. Have a good one.
Take care, man. Awesome.
All right. And Raynell, you are up. What's up, brother? How you feeling?
Hey, what's up, Raynell? How you doing?
Hello. How's your night, both of you?
Oh, bless, man.
I'm having a great night. This is a lot of fun coming and hanging on with you guys.
How about yourself? What are you up to tonight?
Watching NBA.
Nice. Very
Who
nice.
are you watching?
Waiting for the Lakers.
Who are they playing tonight?
They're playing with the Wizards. Bursting West.
Okay.
All right. You think they win tonight? If they played in Washington?
Yeah, they're playing in Washington.
Not yet.
I think they're not gonna win because Anthony Davis is not playing.
Oh, really? Yeah, he's been out for a minute too.
He got injured in Denver, so you got LeBron James and Kyle Kuzma then.
Okay. What questions do you have for us tonight, man? What's on your mind?
What do you think about the trade of Carson Wentz?
It was time. It was time for him to go. You know, obviously the return wasn't the best. I mean, what can he do? But I mean, you still might get a first-round draft pick next year, which I do think. We both agreed that we think that Carson will play either 70% and they'll make the playoffs, or he'll play the 75%. It just looks like we look bad. He's got the goldfish. It's goldfish time. That's gonna be one of your first sponsors.
Never am I without my goldfish.
It's gonna be one of your first sponsors, man.
I'm gonna try.
Yeah, but overall, it's just I'm happy it's done. It's a bad black eye, but you know, like every black eye, they heal. So hopefully, it heals quicker than most black eyes.
I want him to be in a starting lineup, not on the bench with the Colts.
I think he'll start. If you give up a third and if you give up draft picks, those are premium, and I definitely think that they have high hopes for him. So I think they'll come in. Frank Reich will redevelop him, and he'll be the starter. And they should do well. They really should. It's a bad division, and you mean other than Kansas City and Buffalo, I don't really know who else is going to be challenging.
The Colts needed a good quarterback because Colts doesn't have no good quarterback at all.
That's right. Philip Rivers retired. Jacoby Brissett's a free agent. Jacob Eason's still there, but
played with them, but he left to the Broncos and then never went back.
Yeah, man. Now Peyton is living the life.
Well,
What do you think about the Flyers last night?
Ah, man. That was rough. What do you think about Carter Hart? I should ask you.
Not good.
Not good? You don't feel comfortable?
Flyers not doing good. They was taking too much penalty.
Yeah, man. It's tough. Look, last night, the Flyers are still missing 6 important players. Obviously we had our COVID situation, so that didn't help us. You missed 2 forward lines. It's really not conducive at all. And last night you saw a lot of young kids out there, and they gave it their all. But Boston right now looks like one of the best teams in the NHL. The lineup with David Pastrnak, Patrice Bergeron, and Brad Marchand, they are playing fantastic. I think they really killed us last night. It sucks. Carter Hart, I think he's going to be okay. Defense this year hasn't played well, but once we're healthy, we get everyone back. They get a couple games under them. I think you're going to see the real Flyers team. So we should be okay, man.
I think the Flyers need a new coach.
Oh, you don't like Vigneault? You don't like AV?
No. Well, I do, but I think we need to bring JT Miller back.
JT Miller.
JT Miller for the Rangers, who plays with the Rangers, but doesn't.
Oh, okay. Got you.
He plays with Vancouver.
Okay. I like Vigneault. We look at the record. He brought us in his first year to the playoffs. This year, we'll see. I'll give it some time, but give Vigneault some chance. Give him a chance. Give him a chance. I promise you, if you warm up to him, you'll enjoy it.
Players in the Rangers.
What's that?
He had a good players in the Rangers.
That's right. The Stanley Cup, man. He's been every place he's been to. They went to the Stanley Cup. He went to the Stanley Cup with the Rangers and the Canucks. We're hoping he does it with the Flyers. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, like I said,
that's
the one problem I have with him is that he's not able to get over the hump.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing that I want to see have happen. But yeah.
What do you think about last night, the Sixers losing?
Toronto is playing much better. 4 straight times. 4 straight times that they have won now after last night's win. They got some good bench production from them. Siakam and Van Vliet scored 23. What's up?
And Kyle Lowry got in Toronto.
Did he play last night?
No, but he's not playing this season.
Right. Oh, right. No. So I mean, look, it's. I think right now the Sixers need to get the bench situation going. They haven't played well. You had Shake Milton play for the first time, but look, they're not getting much production from the bench. The starting line has honestly been doing their job. Ben Simmons even comes back after that 42-point game. He scores 28. That's really all you can ask from him. Joel had a down night a little bit, but Aaron Baines, give him credit. He played well. And, you just got to make these adjustments, right? So hopefully I believe when we play tomorrow. We play tomorrow against Toronto again. We play Toronto again down in Toronto. So let's see how they look. This is perfect. This is why I like these.
You got the Dwight Howard.
What's that?
You got the Dwight Howard.
Yeah, Dwight's been a solid backup. Good veteran guy there too, man. Nah, can't complain there. But they just gotta get. The more they play, the more they'll figure this out. The bench, I'm not worried. I think the bench will figure it out.
But the good team who is Brooklyn. Brooklyn is good.
Yeah, that big 3, man. It's gonna be tough. We'll see.
AD and you got Kyrie.
You got to play really good defense if we're gonna have a chance with them. Got to play really good defense. Ben and Joel and Toby. Don't forget Toby. Those 3 together. Those guys got to do what they've been doing this year. Toby's averaging 20 points a game this year. So
Lakers is not having a good season. They lost over Brooklyn.
Yeah. Well, they haven't had AD for a little bit too. It's tough.
Trailblazers, they're winning a lot, but not that much.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, the Blazers just don't have enough. Dame Lillard is fantastic. He's a top player in this league, but I just think they need more, especially when you're gonna get to playing teams like the Nuggets, teams like the Lakers who have good big men. You're gonna run into problems there.
I think Golden State needs Klay Thompson back because Golden State is missing a lot of players.
Yeah, man. You're gonna have to wait for him, man. Wait till that knee gets right again.
All right. Well, I really do appreciate you coming on right now. I got a bunch of people that are trying to get on here, so thank you very much. I really do appreciate it.
Yep.
All right, we'll see you next Monday, I'm sure.
Have a good
brother.
night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a good one.
Go Flyers.
Go Flyers. That's
Go
right.
Flyers, yeah. Real quick before I bring on this other guy, I've got this guy to show up. This guy's like a hater. He's a dumbass hater who likes to just come on and do stupid stuff all the time. So beforehand, I just wanted to make sure that everybody got to see him real quick because he wanted to make sure that he got seen. So there he is, buddy. You got seen. You're a dumbass. See ya. Bye. There we go. Yeah, that was that. Dylan, you around, my man? Dylan, you there?
Yeah.
All right, man. How you feeling?
You're brutal there with the haters.
You know what? Sometimes there's haters. You see what he's doing in the private chats. You know what I mean? So it's like, sometimes you just got to out them. You know what I mean? That's what they want. They want a little bit of publicity. He got it now. You know what I mean? So, I don't mind haters. I don't mind people that don't like me. You know what I mean? Tell me you don't like me. Be a man about it. You know what I mean? That's how that works. I'm a man. You know what I mean? I can take it. I got thick skin. But if you're going to be a weirdo goofball about it, get off my page. You know, nobody has time for that.
It's like the kid that called out Cam Newton at the camp.
Where do you think Watt's gonna go?
What's going on?
Where do you think JJ Watt's gonna go?
I still am on the Cleveland bandwagon, but it's taking a little bit. He's figuring out free agency is not as easy as he thought it was going to be.
Well, and so first off, I mean, nobody can do anything until the 17th, anyways. So the longer that happens, the closer he gets to the 17th, the more fanfare is going to happen around it. I thought that he was going to go to Pittsburgh to go play with his brothers.
Yeah, I think so too.
That was the first thing I thought of. And then I heard Cleveland, because I mentioned Cleveland initially and said that I thought that Cleveland would actually be a good spot to play against his brothers. The more I think about it and the more I kind of think how things are going to happen, I would be more surprised for him to go to Cleveland. And actually, I think he's going to wind up in Pittsburgh.
What about Buffalo?
JJ Watt, I think he said before that he likes Belichick, like how he runs it down there.
I mean, we would think that he wants to go to a winning situation, right? That's why he left Houston.
Well, hey, listen, if you're going to go to a team now, you want to win a ring. You know what I mean? That's your thought. It's not about money anymore for him. It's definitely not about money.
That's why I think Cleveland or Buffalo make the most sense. I mean, it sounds like he wants to stay in the AFC just from the rumors you keep hearing. Both these teams, look, Pittsburgh, that defense is nice, right? It's really nice. But do we see what's going on at the quarterback position? We don't know if Big Ben's going to come back. And if he doesn't come back, Mason Rudolph going to be the quarterback? They're going to draft a rookie? Pittsburgh it would make the defense even better. But, we've seen what's going on in the NFL the last couple of years. If you don't have anyone competent playing quarterback position, you're not going to get to the big dance. So, we'll definitely see. But I think he needs to look at Cleveland or Buffalo. That has to be his two spots.
Just imagine him with Aaron Donald and down in LA. That would be dominant though.
Where in LA you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I don't want to think about that.
Well, so when I think about it in LA, I don't know that they're going to be. I think that the Rams mortgaged their future away for a quarterback that's not going to get them over the hump. Although, look, you know what? I never thought about this one. I wouldn't be so surprised.
Yeah, that's because he's from Wisconsin. That's the talk. It's definitely a possibility. I feel like he won't stay in the AFC, though. I think that's the thing. You keep hearing all these AFC teams. I think that he wants to stay in this division. I don't know. Honestly, if you look at both divisions, I think the AFC is a little weaker than the NFC, if I'm being honest. But I think that he wants to stay in the AFC.
You think the AFC is weaker than the NFC?
In my opinion, I believe so.
See, I think of the opposite. I think as a total, as a league, that the AFC is a stronger league. I
mean-
think that the better teams, like the top tier teams, are better in the NFC. But I feel like, so when you think about it, like I think about, like I put like 1, 2, and 3 maybe in the NFC, but then I put the rest of the AFC, most of the AFC in that mix after 3 to like 16, and then you start throwing in more NFC teams again. So the average, I think the AFC is a better conference than the NFC.
Right.
Philly sports guy, what do you think of Dreams and Nightmares by Meek Mill?
I love how you didn't ask me.
Well, yeah, I already got you. I already got you.
So, I mean, to be honest, I've only heard the song like 3 times in my life.
You've only heard
Only
the intro.
three.
You've only
Yeah.
heard the intro 3 a bunch of times in your life.
Yeah, well, so I mean, obviously I know that they played that in the, in the locker
Super
rooms all
Bowl.
the time. So I would say that when it comes to music, I am probably not a strong candidate to be able to talk about certain rap songs and stuff like that. Like I go back like Pink Floyd, like groups that have the number 3 in them. For some reason or another, like I don't know why that is, but like 3 Days Grace, 3 Dogs Down, 7 Mary 3. For some reason, 311. Like I'm big on song, groups that have 3 in it. You know what I mean? So but I like Live. Live is one of my favorite bands of all time. You know what I mean? So I am not necessarily the best guy to try to talk to about, when I think of rap music, it's like I think of that one song where it's like and I want to say it might be Jay-Z that sings it. I don't even know. It's like it kind of starts off slow and then it goes fast and stuff like kind of like Nightmares and Dreams and Nightmares, whatever it is. It's but he's from Philly. It's like I can appreciate that. Hey, my brother, his financial advisor is my brother's firm. So I'm a fan, you know what I mean, of that. Anybody Philly, the Philly sports guy's a fan of. So I'm hot on that.
Can I be honest?
Sure.
There's not many songs that get me emotional than that song does. When I hear that song, either I cry or I feel emotional because when I think of that song, obviously I've heard that song since I was like 19. And I think about the Super Bowl run. I think about that whole year. I think about the Eagles just partying at the end zone before the game against the Vikings. I just see them coming out of the tunnel to play the Patriots. I see the city of Philadelphia erupting on Broad Street when I hear that song. So that not a lot of songs get me emotional. That one to this day, I feel something inside when I hear that song. It means.
Hold up, wait a minute. No, that's all I know. That's the only line I know.
And that's when the tears start coming, man. It's great, man. It's a good question.
I was playing it before I got on here.
Oh, you were pumped then. You were ready. You're like, I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna ask my question.
Right, get fired up. I dig that. So,
That's awesome. Oh man, don't try to get me to cry, man.
Yeah, I would make that my theme song, but I don't allow any cursing. I try my best to not allow any
That's the tough
cursing.
part, man. It's always tough.
But
And there's not too more songs about Philly though.
right.
That's right, man.
What's up? Anyways, well, listen, Dill, I really do appreciate you coming on. Every Monday night, we're going to be here doing our thing.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
I really do appreciate you coming
Thanks
on.
so much, Dylan.
All right, no problem.
You're the
Thanks.
man. Thank
Go
you.
Birds. Go Flyers.
Go Birds. Right.
Yeah. All right. And then we got, is he there? Oh, he's got his thing off. Oh, there he is. Hold on. There he is.
Hey. What's going on, man?
Hey, so I actually have some questions about the union.
Oh,
I don't know
let's
if you
go,
know this,
baby.
but I spam your socials about union.
Your name does sound familiar. I appreciate the love, my guy. I do appreciate it, man.
Okay.
Fire
so
away.
With all the money the union have from their transfers, obviously offloading McKenzie and Aronson, What
Yes.
do you think they need to look for? Like, what do you think the biggest things they need for the CCL and their season to
Right.
be successful?
Right. No, obviously with CCL, you're worried about depth, right? Because you need to have your best players available, but then you go right around the corner. So you play on the 14th. The season's supposed to start on the 16th. So now you're worried about fitness and whatnot. So look, just from what I'm hearing from Ernst and the union, the money that we spent or we got back from, from Mark and Brendan, a good amount of it is going to go back to the youth development. So what they're going to do is they're going to just what they've been doing right now is just expand it, and that way they can get more players in this area. Listen, there's a lot of kids in this area, and it's clear there's something in the wooders around here that makes some good soccer players, right? So they're gonna try to expand that. They're gonna try to get those players in here. I don't know if you heard, but we already found some depth, a depth piece at center back. We signed Stuart Finlay.
Yeah, the Scottish center back. I forget his name.
Yeah, we got him. So that's your depth piece. So next year you're going to go with Jack Elliott and Jakob Glass as your center backs. Now, when it comes to Brendan, it's a little more trickier. I think we're going to find a replacement. They did say that they are going to find a replacement. It's going to be another cheaper option. It's going to be another young, cheap option, someone you probably never heard of. But next year you're going to go probably with Fontana starting there as a 10. You still have I'm trying to think if we have any other depth. Paxton's also going to be there, and then you'll just have the guy that you're going to bring in to replace Brendan. So you'll have some depth. Ease Paxton in there, kind of what they did with Brendan. They never really Brendan really that 2019 training camp. He really surprised everyone, and then he earned his spot, and that's when you saw him start against Atlanta and got his first goal against Brad Guzan. So I think for the Union, we just have to trust this process. Yeah, were you? So was I, man. I was right with the Union fans. That's awesome, dude.
I was right in front of the Atlanta supporters.
Ooh, I got a lot of buddies down there, man. It was
a tough night.
Yeah, they weren't happy after that when we drew against them. They expected to roll over us, but we showed up that night. But it's gonna be fun this year. We're still gonna be a good team. I know people want to see big purchases, but the fact of the matter is this model that the Union have does work. Okay, so we just have to.
Did you hear what Ernst Tanner had to say about that?
About what
he said was he's trying to avoid bringing in a big name because he doesn't want to bring a disconnect, because he has guys like Gaddis and Bedoya who have been on the team for a while, and he doesn't want to bring in a guy who makes double, triple what they make in his first year when they've been there for 5 years.
Right. They were looking at some under 23 kids from your Italy Philly sports guy. They were looking at Juventus's youth academy, some under 23 players, but still some of those kids make some pretty pennies. So when you bring a player that's making 10 million a year to come play with guys that's making, 800,000 a year, it's a pretty big disconnect there. And sometimes miss that too.
I can see why they would do that.
Yeah. Look, you got a good thing going. These guys believe in the system. Jim knows how to get these guys to play it hard. It's definitely a system that works, man. We just got to trust the process, we say in Philly.
Exactly.
I appreciate the questions, man. Keep supporting, though. Keep supporting the team. We need more fans like you, man.
Been with them for a while, and I don't plan on quitting anytime soon.
Are you a son of Ben?
I'm not a member, but I watch every single game. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. You're close enough. You're close enough.
What's that?
Got the new kit coming in soon.
Nice, dude. I'll get mine too. Soon enough, I'll be getting mine. Just wait.
I heard you talk about it.
Yeah.
He designed it. What are you talking about?
I didn't design it. I didn't design it, but I had to say in the kit. But no, it's definitely beautiful. It's a new day in Philadelphia. When you see that kit.
I love when they try stuff new, and this one, it actually looks really good too. So.
Oh man, I appreciate it. Wait till you see next season.
San Diego Superchargers. But that's all right. I dig that. Man. I dig that. That was one of the best uniforms I've ever had.
What?
Yeah. No, the memes about that when it first came out.
Oh yeah. Well, now you can say the Philadelphia Super Dupers. Okay.
Exactly.
Philadelphia Super Dupers. Awesome, man. Awesome.
All right, Pollock. I really do appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much.
Hey,
once we get back to the games, I'll definitely come. We'll definitely come hang out. All right.
Oh, definitely, man.
Yeah, we'll let everybody know because we're doing an appearances. The Philly Sports Guy Union is about to make an appearance sooner than later. So.
Yeah, you got to get into it.
We're gonna do something with the Costa Rica game. We're gonna definitely do
Man,
something
I
in April.
can't
so
wait for that. I
I
really
know.
can't wait.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be a
And
lot of
they
fun
gotta
for
have
the away
some of
game.
the
We're all gonna get together for the away game. So
yeah.
we'll figure it out. There's a bar. There's a place where we all watch the game, and it's a bar, but it's all outside and stuff like that. So like
Yeah. So, and
families are. It's family friendly.
with the game, they gotta have some of the guys who have been less consistent step up. Like especially their strikers. I love Santos, I love Shabilko, but they haven't been consistent at many times. So
Right.
in tournaments like that, they need to have guys step up and be more consistent, you know.
That's exactly correct.
Exactly. He nailed it, man.
You're the man. You're the man. Look at that. We got union people calling us in. I appreciate that, my man. I really do.
Getting
It's
goosebumps.
the fifth franchise, and they don't get enough love in this city. So
Yeah, it's a
I'm
shame.
all about it. My
Definitely.
man, thank you so much for coming on. I really do
Hey,
appreciate it.
thank you for having me. It's a fun time talking.
It was my pleasure. Thank you. And we'll be back next month. Come on back next Monday. You could be our union guy.
All right, sounds good, man. I'll see you guys.
All right,
See you,
have a
man.
good one.
Thank you.
Have
Doop on, baby.
There we go. Yeah, I didn't mean to cut him off there, but that's awesome that we got our union people. But I had to get to this guy. He's been waiting a long time, all the way from Australia.
Hey!
We got Mario. You got your. He's an Eagles fan all the way in Australia. You got your microphone off.
We got an Eagle Roo.
You got the mic. There we are. There he is.
Hey.
Welcome back.
What's going on, Mario?
Thank you.
So, and Mario came on my show last night. He was like listening to the Flyers game through me a little bit last night, and now it wasn't a very good rendition because we were losing. But I'm glad that you were able to make it back on. And he was saying you were cold up there. You were cold up here, El Parcero. If you want to get warm.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know. What part of Australia you at?
Sorry?
What part of Australia are you in?
Sydney, Australia.
Nice. Very nice.
Sydney, Australia. So it's So it's pretty good. It's pretty cool today. So today is a pretty cool day. Yesterday was hot. Obviously, it's hopefully will be a lot hotter soon. We're towards the end of summer, so towards the end of summer, yeah. So yeah, I'm getting a bit of a lag. I'm getting a bit of.
It's because I can hear the background in this, and I don't know that there's any.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that we're going to probably have to deal with when we're dealing with talking to Australia, which is, I love that. I love the fact that we got, people from Australia listening in and calling in on our show. That tells me that we are worldwide.
You are, worldwide. Yeah, this was the only opportunity I had to come back on because as from next week I'm back at work. So I'll miss all your shows. So that's why yesterday I tried to ring through to have a bit of a chat. And now I saw your show, thought I better do it again because as from next week, I'm back at work and all I can do is just see your messages. So, and that's why when I message you, g'day mate, I'm having lunch at the time.
Right.
So, yeah.
No, and I can appreciate that. So
that's awesome.
But you could always watch our show after the fact. You know that, right? Now, so he's always checking in.
I do. I watch the replay.
That's awesome.
But it's not good as live though. So I thought being live, hey, a good chance to say hello. El Parcero, to say hello to you too.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and
so just to give you a little bit of heads up, El Parcero. So he's got family in Philadelphia.
Oh, cool.
And a number of years ago, he came to Philadelphia and he got to see some of Philadelphia's sports teams. Like he missed the Sixers, but he was able to kind of follow everybody else. Then he went back home to Australia, and now he's making everybody Philadelphia Eagles fans out there in Australia.
That's what I love to see, man. That's what I love to see.
I didn't get a chance to ask you yesterday, and I guess I kind of want to know, what is the thought process of Jordan Mailata out in Australia?
Sorry, what was that?
Jordan Mailata. What do people think about? What's his thought? What are people talking about in Australia about him?
Okay, well, here's the thing. Everyone's talking about Jared Hayne, Valentine Holmes making the big league over there, but no one's talking about Jordan Mailata until I keep saying it. He's a guy who obviously got picked up by the Eagles, learned the trade, and then went through, got his opportunity, and played a lot of first on the first team coming up. With these other guys trying to make it big over there from here, they think they can just step in and play your game like they've known all the time, it's not happening. So when Jordan came into it, he went through the right channels, went through in Philadelphia, as you said, spent 3 years there learning his trade, and then got his opportunity and bang, headlines. Right? There's no headlines here about him. It's me talking about him all the time. Incidentally, he started off as a Canterbury Junior, which is the club I follow here in rugby league. And then he went over to South Sydney, and that's how he came there to become to play your game. So, yeah, and that's good that he's done the right channels. The other players who think they can play your game, they're kidding themselves because they don't spend the time like they do to learn the trade. But, yeah, that's my opinion. And then that's what I thought. He went through the right channels. And the result, and then you got the result there as him playing in the starting lineup for the last few games that he played in. He had his chance and he took it with both arms. And I think he'll be a good player. I hope that they stick with him and just get and go with him, you know. So you did mention him earlier on in the show, Jordan Mailata. I think he had a pretty good game the last couple of games. He stopped. I think the game that I saw him play is when the Jalen Hurts dropped the ball and he recovered. Was that where he recovered the ball, started from being a turnover? That's one thing I remember from him, and he's going really good. Yeah.
So, to be honest, out of all of the linemen during the games that he played in, he graded the best. So he was the one who actually was the best lineman when we had the makeshift line, and that included Jason Peters. Now, I'll tell you that he is the biggest guy on the Eagles, completely by a little bit. Like he's when I saw him in 2018. The girl who brought me into the stadium, was standing next to him, and he was a monster. And he was staying with her, so I got to know a little bit about him just from that. And I tell you, when he's going to get the biggest notoriety is the first time they do the tackle eligible, and they throw him the ball for a touchdown. That's when, because he can catch the ball. And I believe that. I believe that they should have made him a tight end, and he'd have been much better because he'd have been rolling people over. But he's so big. He's just, that's why they have him as a tackle, because he'll have a longer time in the NFL as a tackle, and spending 3 years to learn his trade from the best. I mean, he learned from the best in the NFL. He's not the best now, but he was the best in the NFL for a long time. So that's why it was no surprise to me when they put him out there that he did so well as he did. And I'm really excited for the next year.
Yeah. Lovely.
Mario, if I can ask.
Guys. Yeah.
No, just real quick. What's the thought in Australia on Ben Simmons?
Yeah, I don't. My son plays basketball. Obviously, I coached him in basketball when he was, when he was a kid, and he's gone. He's over. Like, he's old enough now. I don't coach him, but yeah, no, they like him. They like him. They think he's going good, as well as all the other Australian players that are there. We actually come to see Ben play. As I said, I was talking to Philly Sports Guy 2 years ago. It was my 60th birthday, and then we went to the season opener to see the Sixers play, and then went to another few more games after that, and then I went to my Eagles game, which where I met yours truly over there. Took a photo with him, and then been following him ever since. Then, I don't talk to a lot of people about him because, but no, they all seem to like him. Yeah, he's doing okay. Yeah, so he's going good.
Yes, sir.
I would say his son is probably the better person to talk to about what he feels about Ben Simmons.
I think you got to talk to him. He'll tell you all about it.
We'll get him on here.
Because he'll know all about Ben Simmons. So he follows him, whatever. Follows the whole. He's into basketball in a big way. He follows the Sixers because I grew up in Philadelphia for 3 years. So he's following every team that I follow. So whether it be soccer, football, Philadelphia, he'll supports Philadelphia in any sport. So
nice.
Yeah, he's like me. He loves his Sixers. He's very passionate about his Sixers.
That's
very
awesome.
passionate.
We like to hear that.
Yep.
So, well, Mario, I really do appreciate you coming on. I know that it's, like I said, I know that it's a little laggy and such like that, but it's always a pleasure to talk to you and
Likewise.
talk Philadelphia sports. I love the fact that that you follow me all the way. Like I said, there's not a further place in the world that somebody could be to follow me, and you're that guy. So I really do appreciate it, and it's an honor. It's an honor to be your friend. I really am honored.
Thank you.
So it's at any time that you have availability to come on, I saw you popping on. I'm like, I'll jump you right on. Like I'll jump you in front of some people to make that happen.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But I really do appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Likewise. And nice meeting you, Parcero.
It was a pleasure. Thank you so much, man. Hope to talk to you.
He says it so much better than I do. Like I had to learn for like weeks on end to try to. I'll say it. He's like El Parcero. Yeah, like he's perfect.
It's all good. Thank you very much, guys. Good talking to you.
See you, Mario. Thank you. Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Yes,
yeah. Thank you so much, Mario.
I love it.
Thanks, Mike. See ya.
See ya, brother.
I tell you, I love having Mario stop on.
Yeah, that was great.
It's like, especially like, when we talk about how we're live in the UK and that we do these things all the time, and then here it is. I have people in Australia that are taking time out of their day to follow us on this show. Like you said, he follows us during his lunch break because he can't call in because it's his lunch break. He can't do that. But he's always saying, hey, just want to say hello and let you know, and his son reached out to me for his 60th birthday. And I'm like, you got to give me a little bit of time because I definitely want to make sure, because Mario and I have been talking for a couple of years now. And it's like I said, it's my honor when I have somebody who follows me through my career, and like I said, he's got a whole nother life down there. You know what I mean? This is in Australia, but I'm honored. I can't. Like I tell you that there's nothing that I can say that's gonna I love that man. I love that man. You know what I mean? That's awesome. As I love everybody else that follows me. You know what I mean? It's one thing. I'm like a humble guy. You know what I mean? There ain't no difference from me than anybody else. So, I'm a little bit louder. I wear different makeup than most of the people. You know what I mean? So I get it. And the haters want to hate. They can hate all they want. You know what I mean? Because it ain't going to change anything about me because I like me. You know what I mean? The fact that they don't like me, I don't care. That's on them. That's their fault, not me. Because I do a lot of good in the community. I like to make sure that everybody's happy around me. And I am a Philly guy, true blue, die hard. This is what I am. You ain't going to trade me for nobody. You know what I mean? That's exactly what's going on. So,
amen, brother.
And that's why I'm saying anybody who wants to get rid of their Wentz jersey or wants to redo it, the Wentz jersey, I'm coming up with the nameplates. The nameplates are coming out. You're going to have the Philly sports guy and put that on your nameplate. Put that on the back at number 11, and it's going to be the Philly sports guy. And then I'm never getting traded. I'm always wearing that number 11. You could have my last name or the Philly sports guy. That's an awesome way to have your jersey.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
So I'm going to do one more guy. We got Cohen, Stav Cohen. He's going to be our last caller of the night. I'm going to throw him on here real fast. What's up, my man? How you feeling?
How are you?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm all right.
Good. How you feeling tonight? What's going on? How you feeling?
Good. Yeah. I've been watching a lot of the Flyers, and they did not do too good last night.
I'm sorry they didn't.
You know what? And that's the hard part about that is that there was 6 of our top 7, 5 of the top 7 scorers were out. Our second best defenseman was also out.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal. That becomes a big deal. We're going to be fine. Like I said, it's the 5th time that we've played the Bruins in 15 games. 33% of our schedule has been against Boston. And out of the 10 points possible that we could have gotten, we've gotten 2.
Wow.
Out of the other 20 points that we gotten for the rest of the season, we got 17.
Wow.
We're going to be okay.
You just got to make the big dance. That's all it is, man.
Exactly. Because once that happens, once we get into the playoffs, we start beating up on Boston. I'll be all right.
Hopefully, I wish.
So Boston's a little older. I know they went young. That when they got rid of Chara, and they replaced him with some youth. But so the problem with that, with what they did, is that the guys that are the staples of that team are going to get old. They're old, and they're going to wind up being slower come the playoffs because they're peaking now. They're the best. It's the best line in hockey right now.
They have gotten the best of us. I hear you, and I see it as well. Like that, I think they probably put up like over 20 goals on us in these 5 games. But the thing is that throughout these 5 losses towards them, it's not like they've completely like outdone. And it's not like it is impossible to beat them. There has been times where this Flyers team has shut down that top line that we talk about with Pasternak, Bergeron, and Marchand. I think when these guys get back to playing fully healthy, you have Coots back as well. That was another issue in the other 4 games. You didn't have Coots. Coots is big on defense as well. That's been the issue. The Flyers. What's up?
Didn't he play last night?
He did, but I'm talking about in the first 4 games, he wasn't playing. We had our whole lineup, but we didn't have him. So once we play Boston with everyone fully healthy, I think it'll be a different story, and I think you'll see exactly what happens. But I mean, the too many goals have been allowed up, blown leads have been allowed to the Boston Bruins. So this has to change. And right now, the Flyers, if we don't get our act together, like we could be out of our playoff spot. Right now, we're tied with Pittsburgh and the Islanders in 3rd place. So we need to have a good week this week. Wednesday we play the Rangers, and this weekend we got a series with the Sabres. Let's sweep this week.
I can't believe I just heard this. We have 41 games yet to play. 41 games. We have 4 games in hand on most of the teams that have less points than us.
Yeah, but don't you want to get some momentum going after the week we had, especially with the young team that we have?
I don't even know that that's a big deal right yet. We could probably lose the next 4 games and still wind up in like 4th place.
We're not in panic mode, but I mean, I definitely think it would be nice to get some momentum going for these young guys.
I'd love to get listen, Boston is only up on us by 5 points right now because of the win last night, and ultimately we have 3 games in hand on them. So if we won those 3 games, we'd be in 1st place even after losing.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal. That's what I'm talking about. So with the fact that we've lost all these games against Boston, it tells us that Boston's got our number right now. And I can't fault Boston. Boston is doing what they're supposed to do. They're trying to win games. They got to win games. Hey, listen, Boston needed to make sure that they won that game, because if they lost that game with a skeleton crew of the Flyers, that'd have been a big deal. That'd have been a big deal for them. Then you'd have to worry about what's going on that side. Truth of the matter is that they were the better team, and they've been the better team so far in the beginning of the season. We are going to be fine. We are going to be more than fine. In fact, I expect us, because of the way we're playing against everybody else, that we'll be in first place coming to the end of the season. Just my thought. And I like that Sixers flag that you got.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I keep seeing the Sixers flag. I'm like, I dig that flag. I gotta get one for myself up here. I don't have enough Sixers, shown over on this side. So
yeah.
But anyways, so that's kind of what I feel. Like I feel like the Flyers are going to be fine. That this is all just it's Boston. It's Boston, and I get it. The Bruins have got our number right now. They got our number right now, as they did in the beginning of last season too. But you know what? What happened when we played them in the bubble?
Yeah.
Smack, smack, smack. And that's the big deal. That's what I think.
Let them have the laughs now. We'll have the last laugh, as I say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, well, I appreciate it, Stab, that you came on. Next time. Hey, listen, every Monday night we're going to be doing this.
All right, I'll hop on again.
So I really do appreciate it, because we're getting close. It's 10:00 at night now, so
I gotta go shower.
Let's get past El Parcero's bedtime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's been yawning over there. I see him, but hey, listen. But I appreciate you coming on. Definitely come check us out next Monday.
All right.
All right. You have a good night, my man.
Appreciate it, man. Take care.
All right.
Awesome stuff.
And so I was trying to get a hold of a friend of mine to see if he was going to come on, and he hasn't responded yet.
Okay.
And I'll show.
Snake and Jay.
I'll show. And here we got Mickey saying the Kraken are coming to play. Yeah. Them Kraken ain't cracking anything yet. So don't be all excited there, Mickey, yet. Mickey likes to bust my balls when the Seahawks are playing the Eagles. You know what? The Seahawks ain't playing the Eagles this season. Yeah, they played 4 seasons in a row. Eagles and Seahawks. Not this season. Yeah, but they have this 17th game now. The 17th game is going to be an interesting game to figure out who is going to play who. I assume they're going to make that the rivalry games, like rivalries that you don't see anymore. And there's 2 rivalries that I think of. Like, and this is going to be a poll question if I did polls. Would you rather see the Eagles play Pittsburgh, the Steelers, which is a great rivalry game, or the other rivalry game that I see lately is the Seahawks, because the Seahawks have had our number?
Yeah. Give me the Steelers. I mean, the PA battle.
That's the one thing that I think that really holds true. You know what I mean? That the Steelers and the Eagles.
But why is that? Why does the NFL not even like we have? So obviously the Jets and the Giants. For a long time, you had the Chiefs and the Rams out there in the Midwest. There, like, why don't we do those type of the Texans and the Cowboys?
Well, I think that's what's the goal of the 17th game now.
They should, because like there's
I agree. I absolutely agree.
There's still smack talk going on between us and the Steelers.
I mean, you know exactly how I feel about Pittsburgh.
Right.
They are haters to me. They hate me. They hate me. I ain't even done nothing to them, and they hate me.
Because they ain't you. That's why.
I know. It is been ridiculous on how I feel about that. You know, like it's just like, all right, well, whatever. You're gonna hate me, you hate me.
There's no Pittsburgh sports guy. That's why. They're like, why don't we have one of those?
Hold on, Frankie. Frankie, you coming on? If he's going to come on, I'll let him come on. Frankie can end it since he's going to give me crap. Him and I were fighting yesterday. Oh, man, that's... Sorry, I got to type out a little bit.
That's all good.
And just want to make sure. There we go. Let's get him on here. He was giving me crap yesterday. You know what? There's certain times when you can. Not. You see this?
Nah, not tonight, boys.
Hold on. There we go. Got to put that out there so I can. There we go. Frankie is a wuss.
Damn.
That's what we were doing. It was hashtag. We were hashtag battles.
Frankie. Frankie's happy that his Bruins have been beating up on us.
So, but Frankie is a Yankees fan, and he is also going to be at that Yankees Phillies game.
Okay.
So that's going to be one of those things. See, this is what I'm talking about.
Philly sports guy cried last night. That's rough.
Yeah, there was no tears.
Yeah, that Yankee
there was no tears on this clown. But I no response from Sneaky G, so we're gonna call it a night tonight.
No worries. We'll get him on next week.
Yeah. I'm gonna be fighting to get him on. I'm always going on his show. He needs to come on mine on a Monday night.
Busy man these days.
Yeah, well, he is. You know, and he's got a family and everything. So.
Oh yeah, married life. Hashtag.
So, but hey, listen. See, look at this. Instead, we have guys like this.
Cowboys. How'd that happen?
No.
Is he from the area?
See, this is where I want to have my video just to be able to push right then and there. Dallas sucks. Yeah. All right, Corey. I appreciate it, though. Yeah, I appreciate it, Corey. There you go. See.
What do you mean I got away last? Wait, what?
Yeah, because you weren't on last night. You got away. You were safe.
Hey, trust me, I was flipping back and forth last night, man. That was rough. It's a rough night. But hey, like I said this morning, relax. They call me Frankie the Yankee. Oh man.
Yeah, so he's in New York and he's a Boston fan.
Yo, Frankie, this is the real team right here, Frankie, right there. See that?
That's right, baby. Hey, listen, guys, I really do appreciate everybody being on with us tonight. It's 100%. Been a tremendous amount of fun, and I really am excited to do this new format. We're going to be doing this every Monday night. This is how it's going to be from here on out. Because I like talking all of Philly sports with you guys, especially with El Parcero Philly. Like I said, I couldn't do this by myself. You know, if I don't have this guy, right there, and that guy right there.
I appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Where am I pointing at? You know, I'm always a little backwards there. But anyways,
hey, we just want to be the home for all you Philly sports fans here.
Exactly. And we're going to be doing other different stuff too, because I want to bring in some culture in the Philadelphia market. So we're going to be doing like what's happening in the city, like, or what's happening in Philly. You know what I mean? Something like that. So we're going to be throwing little bits and pieces out there, like stories that I find throughout the week. I'm going to share with you guys.
Cool.
So it's like one of those things that I want to kind of push and do, because not only are we Philly sports guys, but we're Philly guys,
Exactly.
and we care not just about sports, but everything within this community, and that's really important to both.
Amen, brother.
So, but listen, guys, thank you so much for hanging with us tonight. I really do appreciate it, and let's go Philly! Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right, guys, have a good night.
Say it.